Okay, thank you. So, welcome to Weekly Reset. Thanks so much for being here and supporting all of us. This is a podcast primarily for gaming discussion, but I brought in two guests that I'd like to showcase. And today we're pleased to feature Exiled Rival, which is actually Sam, and as well as Touchy, which is Henry. If we could do a shout out actually for Touchy,
Another
please.
one.
He is a streamer and has been streaming actually Fallen Order recently. So, anyways, I'm not too sure who's going to go first, but I would like one of you guys to introduce yourself.
Oh, fine, touchy. Hello, my name is Samuel. I'm me. I really don't know what else to say there.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Hi, Samuel. Okay, Touchy. Speak
I'm
about
touchy. Is
yourself.
there anything else you need to know?
Yeah, because people don't might not know who Touchy is. So,
Yeah, who is touchy?
yeah, who's Touchy?
I'm gonna need
Which
biography.
one?
I know
Which
Touchy the
one?
buddy.
which one. Oh my God! Look at these guys. I'll just sit and watch them. So I guess there you go. There's the brief
Like,
introduction of themselves. So I'm gonna have them answer some questions. So we're gonna start with Samuel. Samuel, how long have you been playing Sword Tour?
I've been playing since early access.
Wow. Consistently?
Consistently, yes. With a few times that I took a month or two break, I guess.
Yeah,
A few months.
that's understandable. So Touchy, how long have you been playing?
late 2012.
Which would be what? Do you know what expansion that was, or
That's 1.0.
oh,
Yeah.
1.0? So that's pretty long too. When did this game come out?
2011, December 20th.
Whoa. Okay, so you've been playing almost from the beginning as well. So
Just because I wasn't playing doesn't mean I hadn't been following the news. I was still aware of stuff.
oh, I see. Okay, and how'd you find out about a game through a friend or just game news?
Well, after playing Knights of the Republic 1 and 2 hundreds of times, I'm like, I wish I could play this online. And then I heard about SWOTOR through Game Informer. I'm like,
Oh, nice. Now, Samuel, what other games do you like to play besides SWTOR?
Uh, Honestly, I've been playing this game uh, solely for quite a long time. Uh, I guess it really depends. I'm not much of an offline game person, so usually it's other MMOs or other things. I've tried out Star Trek Online. I've tried out DC Universe Online briefly, and other games like that. Personally, the only other game that there's about two games I'm looking forward to playing: Destiny 2 and Star Citizen if it ever gets out of alpha, which is probably unlikely.
Now, is there because another friend of mine, she plays Star Citizen. Is that like early access, or how is she playing it already?
It's alpha where people can actually play it if they pledge, but it's I don't think it's anywhere near like a complete state. So even for like the base game, I mean people can play it. I don't really think there's much you can do on it.
Oh, I see. So okay, yeah, because they will play it quite a bit actually. I see them streaming it. So okay, so it's something that people can play, but it's not really playable. You would say,
I
you
mean,
can
right?
play it, but you can't play.
it's playable, but like I guess it's pretty limited.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's a question for you, Sam. Since you said you're mostly into online games, what's your first game that actually got you interested?
Oh God, online games. Jesus Christ, I don't even know the first online game I played. I guess Wizard 101. I don't remember. Like I've
What a
played a
legend.
lot of games over the.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
This is a.
Touchy. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is a long time ago, like back in 2007. So I don't really remember.
That's fair enough. I was just figuring, since you said you're mostly an online person, there had to be something that got you interested in games in the first place, you know?
Uh, probably. Oh, well, games in general.
Yeah, just games in general.
Oh, probably Mario. A long, long time ago.
This
Don't
is my
remember.
guy.
Okay, and for you, Touchy?
Uh,
Did you remember the question? It was, what other games you like to play?
basically, kind of like books, anything I can get my hands on, unless it's Fortnite.
Unless it's Fortnite. We're a big Destiny 2 player. I know you've helped myself as well as others in that game. And you've done that also with SWTOR as well. I know, helping other people in the game with regard to, like, I remember Datacrons opening up, you know, the maps and whatnot. So I want to say that you pretty much play this game in its entirety, don't you?
Outside of Nim raids, I'd say I've done pretty much everything else. I just love exploring and finding things that I'm not supposed to,
That you're not supposed to.
like how to get to certain spots faster.
This is probably why you like Fallen Order, because they have a lot of those secrets, if you guys haven't played that game. Now, Samuel, do you have any other interests other than gamings, like hobbies or, you know, yeah, anything that you would do besides gaming?
Gaming. I don't know. Mostly screen-related things. So like going to the movies, gaming, watching TV, those kinds of things. I'm pretty much a homebody, so like outdoor kind of things really aren't my thing.
So when you say TV shows, what type of TV shows do you like to watch?
I mean, it depends. I guess anything that really interests me. I like Star Wars, Marvel, Star Trek, DC, all of that kind of stuff. So comic book stuff and sci-fi and fantasy, that kind of does it.
Favorite TV show?
That is too hard. I can't give you an answer to that.
Do you watch
I
Game of
actually
Thrones?
Yeah, can't give you an answer to that.
Oh, okay, way too big of a list. Okay, Touchy, what about you? Do you have any other interests?
Reading, swimming, long walks on the beaches of Corellia.
Oh my god. Typical Touchy.
Snowball fights.
Oh my goodness. I know you're an avid reader. So, how often, like, are you always reading a book, or is it something you do at the end of the night? When do
If
you
I'm
read?
not on games or at works or sleeping, I'm reading a book, so.
Oh, so, I mean, how many books would you say you read in a week or in a month?
I've slowed down a lot because I've read all my books, but it used to be like 4 to 5 books weekly, if not more.
Wow. And what type of, I guess, content do you like to read?
Republic Commando. I don't know.
Ah!
Any genre, but mainly fantasy or sci-fi,
Oh, okay.
or stuff like Dan Brown, James Patterson.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, who keeps bringing out the pets? Is that Cease? Or he's bringing out all the pets. I look down at there's a different one. I guess that would be Cease. Now, I know you're not a streamer, Samuel, but have you ever thought about streaming?
Um, not really. It's not my thing. I don't really have the personality to be a streamer, to be honest with you.
And you're saying I do? What's wrong with you, Sam?
I kind of disagree, but whatever makes you feel comfy. Now, Touchy, you do stream. I know not very often, but you do stream. So, how long have you been streaming?
Uh, well, the other day was the first time in 16 months, but before that, oh, I can't remember. Probably when I want to say Battlefield 3 came out.
Oh,
Battlefield 4.
and do you you guys are dead. Okay.
I'm gonna correct him because I think he streamed with Modern Warfare 2. Well, no, World War 2 came out, didn't you?
I streamed way before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just remember like when I met you, it was Call of Duty. I think is that game that you used.
It was an unfortunate time in Touchy's life to be playing Call of Duty.
I mean, Modern Warfare 2 wasn't bad.
Oh, I wasn't referring to Modern Warfare 2, I was referring to World War 2.
World War 2 was better than Black Ops 3 and 4. Changed my mind.
I'm not going to argue there, because I haven't played those games.
So I know that, well, we'll just say the people that support you know your stream. Like, we would like to see you streaming more. Is that something you can see you're gonna possibly do in the future? Like, stream a little bit more your games?
Depends on games I have and games I want to play and internet.
Oh, okay. Fair
Because
enough.
all year internet's been trash.
Well, here's another question I have for you, Touchy. This is kind of similar to that. It's if crossplay was much more allowed than it is right now. Like, I'm pretty sure what is only Modern Warfare's crossplay that I know of. And let's say like we could party between PC and PS4. Would you play more with people on PC then as well and stream more that way? Because like obviously it's a whole different thing when you don't really have anyone to play with on PS4, but with crossplay you can kind of play with your buddies on PC as well. So
Yes and no. Because I feel there's something to be said for streaming alone. You don't have to worry about other people. But it is a lot easier to stream with people because you have conversation starters, you have differing opinions. As far as crossplay, I know at least Fortnite and Modern Warfare have it, but
we don't talk about Fortnite. What are you doing?
well, you said in regards to crossplay, so I have to mention all avenues.
You do not bring up that trash around here, or I will spank you.
What trash?
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't know if I'd be too interested in Modern Warfare if I get it. It's probably just for the campaign and Spec Ops, which PS4 exclusive for a year.
Sad face, dude.
Weird flex, but okay.
Is that the latest one? Game?
Yeah.
No. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about these games. I just know somebody. I've been seeing a lot of people play Modern. What's the beginning? What's the game called?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Oh, is it a Call of Duty one? Oh, I didn't even
Yes.
know. I just remember. Okay, so I know that recently came out. Is that something that you got or you want to get? Maybe I missed that.
I don't have it yet, and I'm considering picking it up.
And
From what I've personally seen, it's actually seems to be pretty good outside of Spec Ops, honestly. Though as far as multiplayer goes, I hope you're ready for a camp fest.
Yeah,
That's what I've
heard
seen.
Shotguns, claymores, dead silence, radars messed up. The maps are gorgeous. Like the environment that game is set in is phenomenal.
This is what
But-
happens when you finally get a new engine.
But the game is certainly not Call of Duty in my.
Have you played the beta?
I did not.
Oh. Well, to me, when I played the beta, it was very like Call of Duty. To be honest, I got sick of it after like an hour. So, I don't know.
You
It's
know what I
personal
mean?
opinion.
It looked like everything was a lot heavier or a lot more weighted than in most Call of Duties.
Well, I mean, it was originally like that too. I would say most of the recent Call of Duties have kind of strayed away from that. It's been much more of a sci-fi fantasy at some point, during all the futuristic stuff. And then this is them kind of trying to bring it back down to earth. But that's besides the point.
Okay, so that might be something you said that you may consider getting. Okay, so let's go back over to Samuel. Samuel, so I know because I have a tune in your guild. About how many hours would you say you play on Swarturn now?
I I plead the fifth.
Is it way too much? Is that what you're thinking?
I plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Well, I know you. I know the guild makes their conquest, so someone's playing quite a bit. Cough,
I
cough,
plead
you.
the fifth.
And okay, so what do you like to do in those, hours
Okay.
or minutes?
Okay, so I used to use the game as a glorified Barbie simulator, right? And I use it for socialization. Okay, I'm a socializer. I like to dress up my characters, right? And I occasionally like to PvP. I don't like PvE.
This is why you're friends with Cease.
This is why you're friends with Touchy.
So about that duel.
Okay, over to you, Touchy. I know that you kind of just came back to the game. Is there a reason why you left the game? And
I was just bored with it, didn't have anything to do, and I was starting to get back into Destiny, and I had a commitment to playing with friends on PS4.
And now that commitment is to friends on PC. Feels good, man.
Well, yeah, my brother's moving to PC, so I mean, I'm gonna go where the fam is.
so coming into 6.0, so you just came back after 6.0, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how long has it been since you actually played the game? I'm not saying logged in, but played the game prior to 6.0.
Uh, I would say close to a year.
Oh, okay, so quite a long time. So have you,
I think
since you
the
just...
highest year I had was 242 or some 248s.
Oh, okay, so that's been a while. So you missed the whole OSIS 258, Gary.
I quit as like OSIS came out, and then
I think you quit a while before Osus came out,
Yeah, I was
actually.
gonna say.
I quit. I came back for like the first few days of OSIS, but
And quit again.
yeah,
Like, heck no! I'm not
so I
doing
wouldn't
this.
consider that playing.
Yeah, Gear Grind. So, how much have you played now once you've come back now?
This will probably be like the third time I've logged in the past 2 weeks, if that.
And so you've gone through the end of like you started Onslaught, right, and got your tune through.
Yeah, I finished four or five characters through.
Okay. So, well, one of the questions I want to ask you about that is, did you actually go through everything on all four of those characters, or did you just get to 75 and leave like I do?
I went through everything on the first three.
Oh,
This was one of the
that's
first
impressive.
three, actually.
Okay. Now that you came to 6.0, is there anything that you feel is going to kind of grab your attention, or do you feel like, okay, you went through the story, now what?
I mean, probably do the raid once, run some ranked with C's, you know, the usual.
Oh yeah, with rank season. When does it start? Like in December or January?
Isn't it in January? C's?
No, it's in late December.
Oh, is it late December?
Yeah, I
Oh, okay.
keep hearing December, so I'm assuming
It's
December.
the next patch. Eric did say that he's going to try to push the patch sooner than later because there's bugs.
Right.
Damn. Well, cue now, everyone. It's preseason, so that I can get a pop. I need my decos. Okay. Cough,
I
cough.
have been queuing. You don't get ranked tokens during preseason, and you don't get ranked rewards during preseason. There was a bug, but they fixed it. So it's basically just queuing up for the sake of, queuing up.
Well, queuing during preseason is great because you can learn the other players' play styles. You can learn what works and what doesn't work this season. You can test out new builds. That's what I
Yes, and
like
if
about
you're
the preseason. That's
yeah,
something they forgot to do in previous season.
yeah, and if basically the gist of it is don't queue power tech during preseason or at all, unless if you like want to be trading wins and losses all the time.
Wait. Okay. So you're saying that if I queued right now, I don't get any tokens?
No,
Right,
you
you
No
get
just
no rank
comms?
reward.
you will get renown crates and stuff, but that's literally it. You won't get
Do you get completion
any
towards the
tokens.
daily and weekly?
No, because if you get completed towards the daily and weekly, you will
Oh yeah.
get.
Cease is saying you do, but it would help if you actually did.
They do. Okay, so you do, but you
Yeah.
just don't get any rank tokens for it. Okay.
Pretty sure you do.
Well, let's test
I was
it right
playing some
now.
earlier.
Well,
Interesting.
I need my decos, so they need to fix that because I'm getting in queue in preseason so that I'm not screwing everybody up in regular season.
Well, see, now that's the point. They don't want to give you tokens during preseason. They want you to earn them, like, the legit way.
How is it not earning? You're queuing up.
They-
It's during a
Yeah,
preseason. though, not
because they want you to
It's
like.
the off season, not me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the off season. It's not technically the next season. It's in between season.
Mm. So okay, well then I might be screwed. Rip me for not having a deco. I'm pretty upset.
I
about
mean, to be fair, not really, because like you could still queue during the regular season.
it. And I'll get
them.
last season's rewards. Like I could buy the decos.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that they're removing last season.
Okay. Well, I've had it for the last.
Do we know what the season
seasons.
rewards are yet?
This season, yes, there was already rewards blog for this past season that just ended.
Some ugly weapons, basically.
Yeah, basically, that's basically what it is.
Some
Wait, are we going into 11?
We're going into
into
12.
12.
Going to 12. Huh. I
Hmm.
have some of the season 10 stuff. So.
Speaking of going into season 12, hopefully they do not make the seasons last longer than 6 months like they've been doing. Yes, I'd like 3-month seasons, maybe 4 months, not like
Destiny?
8-month seasons.
They were like, yeah, let's let the seasons last for 3 to 6 months at the latest. Like 8 months immediately. Oh, nice job, guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this last season has lasted like 8 months to a year or something. I don't remember.
To be fair, at least they're recognizing it's an issue, and they at least stated something about it.
Yeah,
And fixed it. Even if they don't get to it, at least they acknowledge that they noticed it, which is a very huge step.
yeah, I think overall their communication has been better recently, which I mean isn't really saying much in like comparison, I guess, to other companies, but like for BioWare and EA at this stage,
More than Bungie.
fairly recent. Fairly recent.
Okay, so Sam, you are. I don't know what your title is in the Swartor Discord.
Okay, so you want me to tell you what I do? In the Twitter Discord, I'm a community liaison, which basically means I deal with the partnership requests for the Discord, like to partner with other servers and other, I guess, entities is the real answer that will want to like partner with the server, and handle all the content creator requests and like the community in the spotlight and stuff. other than that, I am a subreddit mod for this Twitter. Uh, crap. This Twitter subreddit, if I could like think, and I also am one of the guild ambassadors for the Sorter fan community guild finder tool. So I deal with all of that stuff.
Uh, and this month, can you tell everybody who this month's spotlight is?
I mean, this month's spotlight is definitely Cease. If you go to the Twitter Discord and you look at announcements, I think it is where yes, scroll up like one message and Cease is our current creator spotlight.
Yay! Congrats for C's. Is that a link that maybe you can just send a Twitch message to someone so we can put that link in, that invite in case
Twitch?
anybody
You mean this? Yeah, sure.
in the Twitch, but I don't think that only mods can link. So can you just link that invite in
I
case
mean,
anybody
we
wants to
could
get
check. We could check. I'm pretty sure it popped up.
it? It
It didn't
did.
remove.
Oh, that's right. He did have the VIP. So if anybody wants to join that Discord, there you go. There's the link. And if you are a content creator, go ahead. Did you say that they messaged the bot in there or something and tell
Yes,
them?
they
Okay.
messaged a bot with the. I'm pretty sure the command is creator. I have to like. Exclamation point creator. Pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There you go. So if you're wanting to get in there, go ahead and click on that link and join. And you can say hi to Samuel if you need anything. I'm sure he will be more than happy to help you out. Now, I'm going to go really quick and talk about, are there any changes or recommendations you'd like to see in the game right now that you feel is going to make the change where this game can possibly get more attention, maybe more
Um,
popularity.
I feel like they should dumb down on how much variety there is to gearing. There's so many mods, it's kind of ridiculous. But overall game changes, I really can't, you know, say much without preaching to the choir in regards to what Cease usually says, because Cease is like, "Oh my God, remove these shitty maps." Da 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 da. Yeah, that's that's pretty much my feedback too. I just want like I want not necessarily class balance, but I just want changes that are like worthwhile. Maybe 8v8 ranks. I don't know.
That's a dream. I would say it's quite an ambitious thing they've done with all the like tacticals and all the ways to build sets, and I really admire it. I disagree with the set bonuses being locked to the shells. I liked how it was the armorings instead because it made use of legacy armor. I noticed a lot more stuff is legacy armor, but it's still not the same. I think they shouldn't have, like you said, done as much variety. Like, I think it's great for the game health, but at a later date. They should have slowly introduced it and then added more sets. And they need
I
to
also
open access to more sets, like give you more avenues to get different schematics or sets, what have you.
I think that personally, I agree with that as well. I personally think this is the best expansion, at least since like 3.0. I can't really say for previous because I did like the overall combat and state of things back in 2.0 and probably early 3.0, but I like I like the changes that they made, and I think that this is one of the best expansions yet.
I will say one good thing that I've seen while browsing through Twitter randomly is the official Star Wars page gave a shout out to SWTOR for Onslaught, so that's definitely a real eye opener and a very helpful thing, which means that, you know, LucasArts and Star Wars recognize that, hey, this is going to be a big thing, check it out. And I think that's going to be huge for player base, and it might get returning players back or new players even. But that also lies on the community to actually be kind to new players instead of telling them that they're bad and moving on.
Yeah. Yes, which is also a problem in itself, and I think I don't know. I've always had the feeling that for a Star Wars game, this is incredibly toxic at times, which I never really agreed with, and I thought is kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, I on the point of the Star Wars Twitter shout out from the official Twitter, I think that they I think that that definitely helped, and I have personally seen a lot of people that I've known that have quit come back within the past couple weeks. So I think that it is working that way to an extent.
So Touchy, is there anything that you can see? So you're returning. So we'll say you're returning since you took like pretty much a year off. Is there is there anything that you like about 6.0 that's making you say, "Hey, I want to play this again"? Um, because we do have, like you said, we have a new Flashpoint that I have yet to play other than through the story. Never gotten a pop, but I think it's because everybody's running Hammer Station for this gear grind. And we do have the new op. I've cleared it multiple times on story mode, progging hard mode. But let's just say that's the end. You know, you've done the raid, you've experienced it. What would you like to do? Like what's going to captivate you to play this game like you used to?
I don't think anything can really bring me back to that level of dedication to the game. Um, I was really excited for the prospect of Onderon when I heard it was initially announced. Um, I was kind of let down because I set the expectations high because KOTOR 2 Onderon and reading like the Bane series they describe Onderon. And while it's not a bad thing to be different, I was kind of just, let down because it wasn't the same because, nostalgia. But I would think that maybe running the raid and if they gave you more incentive to run other flashpoints because you never see people run Red Reaper outside of gear grinding or Hammer Station out of gear grinding. You never see people do like Calicoid War games, and when I first ran through those, that was really fun for me. I just wish there was more open things to do, and I think a big issue with the reason I fell out of love with this game was level sync. And I know that's preaching to the choir, but I used to run around fighting world bosses and doing heroics with low levels because I felt like I could help. Now I die to a flesh raider on Tython.
Well, I will say, what level were you? And you kicked pretty much. I think you beat me, and I was a level 75. And I understand there's level C, but still, and you beat quite a few people at level what 3?
Level 10.
Oh, you were level 10.
Yeah, he's not gonna have any abilities at level 3. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, that's right. You only have 2. Auto attack. Um. Okay, so you played long enough. I mean, I want to say everybody who's probably been in call. So we've done all the flashpoints, right? We've done, let's say, all the raids. What do you think? What do you think that they could do outside of what they've done to make it more, I guess, appealing for people to come back? Because I do know some people that actually left at 6.0 because they didn't want to go through the gear grind.
One thing I personally think that would be interesting, especially with the turn that Onslaught has taken, is add more uprisings. I know that was like a
Hmm.
one-shot gimmick with Fallen Order, or not Fallen Order, but Fallen Empire. But I personally had a lot of fun. In fact, I'm still finishing uh, one of the achievements for it because it's bothering me that it's not done. And I think they have great environments for some of the places we have or have not been. Um, the one on Rakata Prime comes to mind, as well as the one with the collar in the dark.
Hmm.
I thought that was they're interesting to say the least. I wish they'd either take more points like that or make flashpoints similar.
Yeah, uprisings. I remember doing that when I first started the game. I did the uprisings, and it's so funny. Nobody really. It's true. Not very many people do it. Do the uprisings. Now, let's go back to Samuel. Samuel, is there anything this year, since we're coming toward the end of the year, is there anything you want to get done before the year's end, or do you already have some goals for the new year?
In regards to the game,
In general.
uh, I don't know. Particularly in regards to the game, I'm being quite lazy. Like I mentioned earlier, I just sit around and chill. Maybe I'll get to 306 before the end of the year. I don't know. Depends on how lazy I am. Uh, yeah, I mean that's about it. Like it's coming towards holiday season, so I'm just gonna spend time with family for Thanksgiving and things like that.
And what
I
about?
don't really. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. No, finish.
I was just saying I think that this year was quite a good year for the Old Republic. Can't really complain too much, so at least I'm happy about that.
What about you, Touchy?
Uh, in the game, like Sam said, I would actually enjoy getting to 306. And leveling up other classes. Score still owes me a Sork. Um,
I don't know what you're talking about.
and outside of game, I just like to go and spend more time with family and friends. I'm gonna be busy come end of December with my sister becoming an adult. So
Uh, Um. Okay, so let's see. Samuel, what is your proudest accomplishment in the game?
Um, um, having a bunch of awesome names that I hoard across many level 70s. That is my best accomplishment. That is my favorite accomplishment in this game. And to be honest, if I didn't have all of my awesome character names, I probably, and I didn't have like a lot of friends that I have, like I probably wouldn't be playing. To be honest with you, this game is a lot more fun with friends and like enjoying your character, like what you're doing. I don't know.
yeah, I feel like that's something they moved away from because I remember, at least late 2.x and early 3.x, you knew what you were doing when you were solo, but now you need a group to do anything.
And I think game has changed quite a bit, quite a lot since then. So I don't know. I guess for people that enjoyed like 2.0 and like early 3.0 or even before, uh, and they enjoyed like how it played then, they might not enjoy how, I don't know, arguably easy the game is now.
But isn't that pretty much so my first MMO was World of Warcraft. And as you know, or you might know, that Classic was released not too long ago. And I remember when I came in kind of late. Came in through Draenor, but I can tell you I have every class and race on both factions. And gone through the story a bajillion times because in there it costs like $60 to boost a character to whatever max level it at that point it was 100, right? Now it's 120. um would would you say though that, for example, when it, I remember people saying, "Oh, back in the day, blah 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 blah." So now Classic introduced that, right? We went back to back in the day, and it was hard. I got to tell you, my tune I got to 25 and I was done. I didn't even get mounting yet. Don't you think that, especially like an MMO to evolve, though, it is going to, by definition, going to become easier because, obviously you're more geared than you were back when you were like a level 20 on a particular
Well, that's a
class.
tricky thing, Nami. For any MMO, you kind of have to
Yeah.
cross the line between hand holding or quality of life changes as compared to just straight up giving someone for free because we want to change the game. That's kind of the thing I have such a personal problem with WoW is obviously you don't like the way Classic is. I don't mind it, obviously, because I didn't play during Classic. I played during Burning Crusade, and it was very similar. So if you wanted your quality of life things, you needed to work for them. You needed to get to level 40. If you
Hmm.
wanted your first mount, you needed to get to 60. If you want your
Flying.
100% speed mount. No, you didn't even get flying at 60. Not in Burning Crusade. I'm pretty sure you needed to get 70 first because you couldn't even pay for it at that point. I mean, it still costed a lot of gold back then. Gold actually had value instead of now it's just, oh, you get tons of gold from just quests and, doing old raids, and then you just save it up because there's nothing to spend it on. So
And that's the same thing with credits back in the day on this game. Like Hypercrates used to cost 5 mil, and not many people had 5 mil.
Hmm.
as compared to now where everyone has like 2 billion or something
Yeah.
or more.
Well, you could have
I don't
bought
know.
there's
a hyper crate for 1 credit had you gone and bought Touchy's hyper crate he put up for sale.
Oh no, I remember when he used to do that.
Let's say 5 mil. I'm missing out on.
I think I knew one of the people who ended up buying his hypergrade for 1 credit. I don't remember who, but because it's quite a long
Yeah,
time ago.
Only Touchy would do this.
Yeah.
Um, so what about you, Touchy? What do you think?
For my greatest accomplishment,
Hmm.
um, well, the initial thing I would say would be getting top 3 in this game, but I think that really pales in comparison to someone randomly. I just helped for a day because I felt like helping. They said that I was a champion of MMORPG community because I took time out of my day to help, and I think that shouldn't be special. It doesn't deserve to be special. Why is taking time out of my day to help someone special? People should just do that in an online community because MMOs, the community makes or breaks the game. It was like toxicity earlier. This game would be dead if we keep up this toxic environment.
I mean, it already, I wouldn't say is dead, but it's very small at this point.
It's certainly not as healthy as it once was, but like you said, I wouldn't consider it dead.
Yeah. And that's why it's kind of hard to say, like, where is this game?
That's why I kind of chuckle when people say it's on life support because they're not wrong.
But they're not right either.
They're not wrong, but it's a shame that it's fallen to the point where people have to admit or amend that statement.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm gonna make a kind of argument to that. People have been saying that for years. That's not something
Game
that's
came out and
changed,
people
and
were
the
saying
game
that.
hasn't gone anywhere. I don't think it's on life support. I don't think the population is as healthy as it was at launch, obviously, but you could also argue that pretty much 6 months after launch, a lot of people left as it is. So, the game recently finished past the 1 billion main mark, so I think it's not doing too bad. But again, this is Star Wars, so what do you expect?
I mean, this actually brings up a good point as well. This game does not get as much advertisement as it should, and I honestly think that's mostly on EA just not wanting to sink more money into it to allow it to advertise itself. You know, so if it had some actual proper advertising, like let's say WoW does, because it was, it would
I,
be better.
I actually think that's less on EA and that's more on Disney not wanting to promote a game that doesn't follow canon.
That's fair.
I mean, I will say, a lot of players I've found of other games, like C said, is even on Destiny. I've like on PS4, I'll be talking to people and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play SWTOR," and they'll be like, "That game's still up? I used to play that game." And like, it's just insane to find people who played it and just quit. And there's like, they kind of miss it, or some of them occasionally log in, but they don't play it. They don't find enjoyment because they don't know what to do. Because, and this is the same issue I find Destiny now has, is they throw you into the thick of things. Like SWTOR does it better than Destiny, but they throw you to or near end game with what they expect you to have, but you don't pick up the skills that you need as a player to perform. Like, we are the companions in this game now. Choices matter. I disagree.
I mean, it's equivalent, of course, to just throwing someone into a pool when they don't know how to swim. It's like, okay, now swim.
Well, that you would learn pretty fast, but
I mean, honestly, in Destiny 2's case, you can figure it out pretty quickly, but it is very, very confusing.
but you know what I mean. At least like, it's kind of unfair on newer players. So I
Yeah.
miss the actual leveling. Like, I think the most fun I have had in any multiplayer game, honestly, is just leveling and learning how people play. I think it's phenomenal watching people discover, oh hey, I can do this. And like, while it seems trivial to us, like we seem to forget that we were there once. We discovered, and now we don't think of it because it's secondhand nature.
I
Like,
used to love seeing the levels just spam like lacerate or use
Yeah.
overload for DPS or spamming like lightning strike. Like that was great.
Well, you would
You know,
have
now
loved
that-
seeing me because that's all I did. I was like, lacerate.
Actually,
Yeah, but we know you're not a new player.
CC
No, I'm
might
talking about
have
when I first
comment on
played.
this, but in so you remember late 3.0, like 60 was still cap, but you had your gear and you had your whatnot, and how it was like it was like 29 to 59, or was that the 31 to 59 bracket? Because that was before they
say-
updated the
I want
bracket.
to say 29. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because then
Or
they updated
31. It's
it
like
to 40.
gonna be one or the other.
But I was on a level 32 anti-marauder, and I fought a level 52 anti-marauder, and I beat him just because I knew how to play the class. Because I'd leveled one before. He wasn't bad, he just didn't know the ins and outs, and I think that says a lot about the game as a development process.
Okay, so let's go. Let's switch over to the community because we've kind of touched on that. Excuse me a little bit. Have you seen, either one of you seen any significant changes in the community as a whole since you began either playing streams or streaming yourself?
You mean community as a whole in regards to content creation, or community in a whole in general?
I want to say like community as a whole. I mean, both you guys have been playing since pretty much day one.
I arguably say the game has gotten a lot more toxic over the years. I say it was less toxic back in again, I don't really remember too well back in the day, but from what I do remember, the game is a lot more toxic now. So overall, I think toxicity levels have went up, the game difficulty has went down, and it kind of makes no sense. In regards to like tight-knit communities and communities that have been around a long time, there's still quite a lot of good communities, and then there's a lot of good, uh, like on social media, you have this, for Twitter, you have Sporter Family, and then all of these other things. There's a lot of connection in this game, where like it's not, you always will see people, and I think that part of the game is nice, but I don't know. Personally, I just think toxicity levels have risen and should be brought back down. I guess that's really my thing.
I definitely agree with the increase in toxicity is a negative thing that's happened as the game's progressed. Um, what you were saying with, saying people you would know as a returning player, I find it weird not seeing people because I'm sure, as you remember, I used to know everyone. Uh, as Karen or Zach used to say, anyone who was anyone knew me or I knew them, and I
Yeah,
disagree
and now
wholeheartedly
people
with
say that
that.
about me too.
But I remember a few years ago being able to balance like 4 or 5 guilds and make them all become friends, and instead of having one guild, because this was back before you could have 1,000 people in a guild, or you and your 999 alts, um, but it was amazing to just have that ability to have so many people come together, and even if you disagreed with things, even if you played different aspects of the game, at least you all knew each other and you could keep it civil, which is something great for an MMO.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. A lot of it now is mostly people shit posting each other constantly, and it really does. I think that that's also a problem, a main problem within not only uh, the ranked PvP community, where it is the biggest problem, but I don't know, even a little bit within the Nim Raider community, and with I would even say our peers to an extent. Um, so so personally, I would say the ideal thing is to make the game better. People will just have to accept people for people, and like the toxicity level lowered would have to be lowered. I feel like that would make the game more enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, some of my thoughts are, as you know, like a couple years ago, I entered into the rank community, right? I wanted my decos, and so I would queue, and for the most part, I would get some people that were toxic towards me, and then there was others that were very helpful. I think coming from my very first game being League of Legends, which is like the game of toxicity. Um, I kind of feel as though it would be great. What I would love to see, I would love to see this, and I wish in the future someone would actually do this, actually put it to practice. I would love to see a group of ranked players or competitive players, we'll just say it that way, competitive players come together and actually do uh, like workshops or
Train people.
some type of, we have Rishi, right? So Rishi Stronghold, we have all that, right? So you can take a group in there and do PvP, but it would be great to see some of the ranked environment, our hardcore, PvPers, put together something that will actually help people get interested into that. Because what I see,
Okay, so on that topic, that has happened a few
Yeah.
times in the past, and it always fell apart. I think the most recent incarnation of that happening was something that I have to remember who. I think it was Gilgamesh and a few other people put together like a server, and then
Oh yeah.
they invited people for and they helped them train them to do ranked or kickball, and basically that fell apart. I think the problem is uh, I guess it's really a line of. I guess the problem is most ranked players, I guess, don't find it worth it. But then but the problem with that is then they go on to complain that nobody queues ranked. So it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword that they just can't get away from.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, I gotta say, okay, along those lines, if you're saying someone didn't, and I definitely hats off to them for doing that. I think that's something I would love to see something of that sort be implemented, especially now with the 6.0. This is a complete different gearing system. Everybody is starting literally at ground zero, right? Trying, and you have to learn how to play your classes with class balancing, and especially the future changes that are going to happen in December before season starts again. Um, I understand that things may fail. See, things may, I've had raid groups that I've implemented in my guild for anybody who wants to learn how to, like, entry rating, right? And the thing is that you just have to keep doing it. It has to be consistent, and it has to be announced for the people that do want to come. Uh, it's just something that you have to stick with it. It's a way of teaching or helping people that want to get into that environment, because like you said, what ends up happening is that then they are pissed because there's nobody to queue against. There isn't anybody in queue. I can tell you for right now, even with PvP, it's definitely gone. I'm not going to say downhill, but I mean, the way that the pops used to be before, in comparison to what they are now, it's different. There definitely is a decline. And I think it was kind of funny. I went and looked because I was looking for solos, right, to pop. I was shocked. I went and looked. There was zero matches going on. I just out of curiosity wanted to know how many people were in Hammer Station. There was 80 plus people in Hammer Station. I remember seeing this because I was streaming it, and I was like, oh my god, the day when you see 80 plus people in a Hammer Station. And obviously they're just scare grinding. I mean, I was one of those people too. I was like, well, screw this, I'm not gonna get a pop, I'm gonna queue for Hammer Station. I just think something should be changed, because if something doesn't happen, I could see that there just isn't going to be any very much competitive play, and you'll be up against the same people. And I don't know
Yeah,
that
again,
that's interesting. I don't even know if that's fun.
and
I would want
no,
variety.
it's not, and that just goes back to the whole toxicity talk. People are more willing to step over other people than to teach them. So that's a problem in of itself, and the reason why that so many people don't queue ranked is because they don't want to put up with the toxicity, like going into rank and like told like terrible things like to go off yourself and things like that. They don't want to deal with that, so they don't queue ranked, and then then ranked players wonder why nobody's in queue, and then the only people that hop into queue are the same people they would usually hop into queue when like they ask like for the queue to like start popping. Not everyone is willing to deal with that or ignore that toxicity. So yes, ranked
Well,
does not pop as often as it should, and that is more of a player problem than like a player toxicity problem than like an actual
well, I
yeah,
mean,
that's nothing the game can do.
population problem. It's not a population problem. That's a player toxicity.
right. And I guess what my point is that for the people that are queuing and the ones that are complaining that there aren't anybody in queue, I think that it would be much better if, like you said, that it has happened in the past, that there is some education about people that are wanting to take it. Because I can tell you this, I'm not a great player by all means, but I got to tell you, I would prefer playing in an arena than an 8v8. In my opinion, in an 8v8, I don't even know, am I really PvPing? I mean,
Well, I
the
mean, you're always playing healer, so no, you're not PvP.
No, I do play my Juggernaut. Now, let's be real here. But the thing is that, yes, I am PvPing, but if there's a group of pre-made 4, and we're, like, dude, if you're queuing with Cease, you're just literally following him as a mass of dead bodies all around. Because they just don't have a chance. That's not fun. In a 4v4
I mean,
arena,
to be honest, Nami, that's why I play Battlegrounds and Warzones. It's just to kill people. I don't give a fuck about playing the objective, okay? I just want to kill people and that's it.
I
don't.
understand.
If I want to play competitive, I'll go play ranked. That's fine.
Exactly.
Battleground,
And
let me
that
just
is
kill
my
people.
point. My point is that if the arena's on a 4v4, which is a complete different playstyle than an 8v8, and you wanted to play that, it's hard because, number one, I wish that they would give the option of whether you wanted to play a 4v4. I understand that you don't want to play objectives, but an 8v8, there is objectives. If you're going to play an 8v8 PvP match where there are objectives, that is part of the play and part of that game style. And I understand that you may not want to do it, but there might be a couple other people on your team that are like, yo, why aren't you capping? Or whatever the case may be. That playstyle was implemented that there were objectives. Now, I understand that PvP, some people just want to kill things. I get it because when I DPS, I don't want to play objectives either. Which is why I'm saying the only avenue to do that would be the ranked, getting into rank where you are ensured a 4v4 match where it literally is just 4 people fighting 4 people.
Okay, so on that topic, really the workaround to that is, and I'm guessing the reason why most people don't do this is because it doesn't give you any sort of like incentive besides actually. But that's kind of the point of challenges. Like, you could do challenges and then you get to choose the map. You could have 2, 4, 8, and 16. The problem with challenges is I don't think people do it because it doesn't have any reward to it. And personally, I'm not in it for rewards. If I'm PvPing, I just want to have fun, right? So I like the idea of challenges, and the reason why they don't do that for regular PvP is because they don't want to they want to cater to all sorts of play styles. So if they're not going to remove maps and let you choose, because if you don't, then those people who want to play those maps won't get pops because everyone will leave. Well, that's kind of already the case with Odessa, right? Everyone leaves Odessa. It still pops, and the only people that usually stay in Odessa are freaking objective players for the most part. So,
well, I mean, what I'm saying is that if you had the option to go queue for either both or an 8v8 or a 4v4, I'm not talking about removing any maps. I'm not even talking about adding any maps. I'm saying having the option to be able that the people or the players that don't want to play objectives and want to go in a 4v4 and just they're able to play that, let's say, map or that mode. We'll call it that mode, right? Because if you get into an 8v8 and let's just say you're wanting the wins because you just want you to get your freaking dailies done, but now you have to play X amount of games because you're not getting your daily done because you just lost. Because everybody's just in a fight fest. And I will admit, I am one of those. I'm one of those fight fests. Like, if I'm on a DPS, I'm just, if you're red, I'm just going after you. I'm just going to hop on you. I'm not going to look at, oh, I need to cap that node or anything like that. But I'm just saying whether you wanted an 8v8 versus a 4v4. Not necessarily that you had choices like a flashpoint to say, oh, I only want to play this map. I'm just saying between the two modes of an 8v8 versus objective versus just straight up PvP.
From what I remember, when they were first introducing challenges, before they introduced challenges, they were saying how they were considering bringing out a queue selection mode. So if you didn't want to play 8s, you didn't. But I've heard that that it would still backfire because people would just queue for so and so and then say hot ball would never pop. And
Well,
then
here's the
WoW
workaround for that though, because WoW's already done it. Just only let them be able to select 2 or 3 maps that they don't want to play, and that's it. And if
Right,
they
but
want
how
to
many
queue for a
maps do we have in the
specific,
game?
I have no idea. But look, even if we just tell them you can only pick 2 maps that you don't want to play, that there's at least 2 hutball maps. So I would pick those because I don't want hutball, right? But I would play everything else. I just don't want to play hutball. That's it.
I feel like they should give us more than 2 because there's at the very least 4 bad maps in this game.
Well,
Well, yeah.
I
my
just
point
don't
is
think there
that
should be a
there's
choice.
workaround.
I think that you either pick 8v8, you want to play an 8v8, or you want to play a 4v4. I mean, that's just what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, yeah,
And
we
if-
can separate that as well. It's like if there
Yeah.
there honestly should be just an
filter?
unranked 4v4. No, just an unranked 4v4.
Yeah,
and
that's what
it.
I'm talking about, because I think, and here is what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking from someone who does. I would prefer playing a 4v4 than an 8v8 any day. Every time that I queue up for a PvP and I get an arena, and I'm streaming, I'm just totally freaking over the roof. I'm so happy. I would love if there was an option for me to do this. And here's the reason why I think that would help the PvP community, is that you definitely have to learn how to use your DCDs, or strategically figure out how you're going to win in a very compact area. And that is kind of the step towards getting to ranked. It's a total different play style. It really is versus 8. And I would love to see that people were able to make rank pop. That there was a bigger population instead of the same people getting in there waiting for pops for 20 minutes. So, I mean, again, I know we've been on this subject for quite a long time. I'm just saying, I think overall that would maybe help the rank community a little bit more, because people would be a little more experienced in playing in that type of environment, I guess.
Well, I guess my question then would be: is this a high priority for BioWare to implement then? Because that's the other thing we need to think about. Because
I
I'll be
think
alone.
if you
Pretty sure.
want, I mean, I don't know what honestly, I don't think we all know what BioWare's like priority really is in the game right now. I mean, 6.0
Bug fixing.
launch, they're trying to fix it, but I mean, I definitely think, with all the BioWare influencers and even from the public, putting in suggestions, I really do think that for some of the ranked players that are complaining about not having pops, that this would be a way that people would be able to learn how to play through it, especially if there isn't a group out there or somebody who would like to take the initiative to help them learn. Like Touchy says, it is great if seasoned people can go and help someone that's new to the game. I know I've done it multiple times, and there is a rewarding feeling for yourself that you helped someone in a game and got them excited about the game too. But let's go ahead and move on this, because we still have the game talk afterwards here. So I'm going to ask you, Samuel, in this community, so we're talking about Swarter community, is there anybody that you've been inspired by?
Inspired by. I don't know actually.
Could be someone who just helped you along the way when you first started, even though you started way at the beginning. I don't know how many people could help, but I mean, or someone that
that's
you
a-
helped.
That's a very hard question to answer. Just because I know so many people and I've been playing this game such a long time, I don't really remember all the interactions I've had. I don't remember all of that.
Anybody
I-
stand up? I mean, obviously, no, none of your other friends are going to be like, "Oh, you didn't name me, you didn't list me." I mean,
Honestly, wait. Yeah, honestly, probably quite a bit. I don't know.
quite a bit. Okay, fair. Touchy, what about you? I know you know pretty much everybody, so
So do I.
Back on Bastion, uh, one of the guys who is in a allied guild of mine. Uh, he was in an all guardian guild, the Jedi Order, uh, and all they used to do was sit there with skank tanks and do all day. That's all they did. They would sit in front of Outpost Thorazin on Tatooine, and they would just duel and chill. And you'd have imps there, you'd have pubs just chilling and talking. But he was the first person who sat down and taught me key binding, because back then I was a clicker. And his community, his guild, also helped because they were ranked players and they would run war zones with me. Meeting Sam was pretty interesting. He helped me meet a lot of people. Meeting Cease made me step up my game.
I'm sure he's happy to hear that because that's what he does guides for. So if you guys don't know, he does guides so that he can help people become better in the game, so
Well,
that you can go and beat them.
I'd say I don't think there's many other reasons to make a guide. Um, but aside from that, and then I'd have to say, now Cease and Sam probably remember him, but Shukla Kabir and Jejunga were also pretty chill and just helped me learn how to relax while taking the game seriously.
Yeah, I really miss.
And then I'd say probably Karen. I don't think I've met anyone as outrageously skilled yet doesn't care at all about the game. He's the least competitive person I know.
Who?
Zach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what
he's
is
really competitive, but he doesn't care. He's there to perform, not to compete.
Nice. Okay, so this is going to be my last question because we've been going on quite a long time, but it's understandable since we have two guests. Samuel, is there any projects or events you are wanting to take part in, whether it be you want to host it or be part of that you could, in the future, whether it's this year or probably next year?
I think that's kind of a hard question to answer because I am involved in a lot of things already. But honestly, I kind of like what you said. I'd like to see the rank community get better. I'd like to see more pops. So if I could like somehow put together a group of like non-toxic people, or like people who are at least willing to teach other people and not be dicks about it, I'd like to see I'd like to see people do challenges, and learn by doing challenges, balancing out the groups. We could balance out the groups and everything else, make it fun, and then have more people queuing ranked like at the end of the day. So that would be nice.
Yeah, I would definitely take part of that. I would love getting like, okay, at this time, and just split up and try to balance out the teams, right, a bit, and just go in there and learn. I think that experience alone is going to help, I think, the community overall as far as PvP is concerned. Now, Touchy, I'm going to now say it to you. So we already know you're going to start streaming more often, right? Cough, cough.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
But is there any other projects or events you'd like to partake in or implement?
Honestly, I'd like to run my first Duxon. I'd like to hang out with the boys more, like Cease and Zach, and hopefully get Score to level Sork. I think that's an event in and of itself. And run double operative with my homeboy Spieth. He's the other half.
Wow,
of the
you
operative
didn't
crew.
even mention me. Feels bad now.
I mean, I figured you were gonna help me level Score, but if you don't want to feed yourself now.
Just subject yourself to that torture.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be complaining the whole way through. I just want you to know that.
Oh my god.
Oh, I am-
Okay, I will
I am
not be in
willing.
voice with you when you do this because he is going to be grumpy. He'll be like,
Big
damn it,
So-
boy.
Sam and Cease, do you guys remember Talfaz,
Yes, I do.
the assassin and operative?
Yes, I do remember him.
He wanted to get better at operative, so he wanted to duel me. And this was back before I quit the first time. And so he dueled me 382 times in a row. And he only beat me 3 times, but he didn't stop.
That's impressive dedication right there.
That is really some dedication.
And then there's Jigsy, who dueled me like 100 times and he wanted to break his keyboard. Because he would ask what he was doing wrong, and I'm just like, well, you're not keeping your probes up and you're not using your shield probe. I'm not a good teacher, I just do by showing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I
I
don't run raid.
dueled you and we're even, so I am not going
You
to
wanna,
duel
you
any-
wanna,
I just said I
fix that
don't
record?
want to anymore. We're even. I'll take even. I don't need to beat you, and I don't want to see you beat me. So there you go. I'm competitive. No. Well, that's, hopefully Score decides to actually level. I think he should make a Sork right now, in my opinion. And we should.
Wow, we were gonna play Battlefront 2 after this. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought he's not gonna be home until like 7 p.m. Remember?
Who? Oh, Grizz?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know that.
he's at a football game.
Oh, that's right. Well, that gives me time to go get food, actually. I'm
No,
okay with
it gives you time to make a Sork, right?
this. Food over sort, thank you.
Yeah, food don't take forever. But anyways.
Although, if I can say one thing about the toxicity that you and Sam and everyone was discussing, Season 4 and Season 5, I was the worst rated commando on Bastion. Season 6, I was silver, and Season 7, I got top 3. And during Season 4 and Season 5, I used to get daily messages to get cancer and kill myself. And it wasn't quite as bad, but the attitudes really didn't change when I got top 3, so improvement doesn't change toxicity.
I mean, to be honest, I really feel like you should have seen that coming, because that's not going to shut anyone up, to be honest.
Well, I wasn't
You
worried
really,
about it, but
yeah, I mean, with toxicity, you kind of just have to roll with it, especially on the internet. Like, it's never going to get better unless something
certainly.
really big happens.
But Cease, do you remember Elandria and Agony?
Vaguely familiar, I guess.
Well, once I got top 3, they actually started talking to me, and Elandria and I are now friends. She used to hate me and get out of queue, or tell me to stay out of queue.
I don't even know who that is. I don't think.
Their merc was Fairy on Bastion.
Are they the same fairy that's the operative or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask chat, is there any questions for either Samuel or Touchy? Well, it looks like Touchy got already a question from Stewie. Would you like to answer that?
I don't know if he can see it. We're going to have to read it to him.
When? It's been far too long.
Good answer. Good answer. But if there's
Well, actually, this is kind of a game discussion question in general for both you guys, because I remember XQC, if you don't know who that is, he used to be an Overwatch pro, and he played Titanfall 2 recently, and that is definitely by far one of the best, I would say, complete games that Respawn has ever made. It just didn't do well because of EA slamming it between Call of Duty and Battlefield 1, I believe. So he actually brought up the point he's not a fan of games that kind of mix campaigns and multiplayer. What do you guys think about that? Do you feel like they should focus more on single player if they just want to do single player, or just focus on multiplayer when they want to focus on multiplayer? Because that's what he prefers.
Can you rephrase the question?
Okay, so would you rather have a game focused solely on multiplayer and only on single player, or would you rather have it mixed like Halo 3 was, like back in the day?
It depends on the genre and the community target.
I'd I'd say for Star Wars, I'd prefer multiplayer. To be honest, there's a lot of single player games, and I like playing multiplayer. If it's an MMO, I want to do multiplayer things. But then again, I also like to be able to solo things. Like I don't want everything to have to be locked behind having a group. So a mix.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I say multiplayer games, I'm not specifically talking about MMOs. What I'm specifically referring to, honestly, in this situation is FPSs, because he came from Overwatch, obviously, and that game did not, throughout its entire lifespan, get a content update that wasn't just skins or a character or an event that lasted like a month or 3 weeks. And that was it for their entire update cycle, like throughout 3 or 4 years. And to me, if you're just going to be a strictly multiplayer game, I'm expecting something else, right? Obviously, they had maps and stuff like that, but to me, maps is just kind of, they're a given. You know what I mean? As time goes on, you're going to need new maps to keep people entertained.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's just like, with the way the model is, most multiplayer games just don't give you that value of your money when they have other ulterior ways of getting that money, like loot boxes, right? Obviously, lots of players in Overwatch spent tons of money on loot boxes to get skins they wanted, but they used the excuse of supporting the game and hopefully getting better content when the content never got that much better. So, I don't know, that's kind of why I just wish the games were kind of where they used to be, where they're actually complete games when they came out, and the update cycles were just new maps, right, to keep the game fresh.
Why are you reminding us that EA became a thing?
Because it's important to remember that.
But I would say that um, there should be more single player focused games. I think there's a lot to be said about single player games. I mean, look at KOTOR. It was runner up to Game of the Year in 2003, right behind Halo.
Mm-hmm.
But Halo was an iconic game. So was KOTOR. I think, depending on the genre, like I said previously, it can be multiplayer or it can be single player. I think most games are best with both options, but like you said, would you rather focus? I think I'd rather focus on single player games staying single player, because look at Skyrim. Technically, you can never beat the game because there's always, a raiding quest to do. But after so many hours, you just get bored because you've done everything.
Yeah.
But when Skyrim came out, it was amazing because everyone was learning new things, and I just don't feel like there's the hype or the expectation of the hype of learning new things or being excited about learning new things in games, and that's what we're missing.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
I agree. I agree.
I can agree with that too.
Okay, Rick's actually asked a question. He wanted to know any advice for people who have been scared off of ranked from assholes.
Um, I'd say my advice is to honestly, honestly seek out people. Like I wouldn't say really myself. I mean, I think I'm a decent player, but mainly people like Cease here, because Cease will give you advice. He'll probably queue regs with you if you drop by his stream and like ask if he's when he's queuing solo or not queuing with other people. And like watch guides and like as I said, I plan to like see what I could do about getting challenges going. So and focusing on picking people who are not going to put people down during challenges when we're supposed to be helping people learn how to queue ranked. So I would definitely say that those are some of the things you can do. And people say this a lot, but this does help to an extent. Like before you queue ranked, get to learn your class in regs. Play regs. It does help, especially when you're set 1v1ing people or things like that. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, eh, you can't change people from being toxic, but we can do we can try to overcome it by getting people together and trying to make sure that they learn things and encouraging them rather than putting them down.
I would say, in like what you were saying, to take advice, um, seek advice. Don't just receive it. If someone gives you advice and not just blatant, rudeness, take into consideration what they said. If you made a mistake, think about what you made a mistake. If you think you need help, find someone who you think is good in the class you want to learn and ask them for help. Because even most toxic players are willing to help if you approach them outside of the toxic environment. Because A, they want better people on their team, and B, most competitive players want a competitive environment. If they're facing better players, they are going to have a lot more fun, and they're going to be more willing to play more. Uh, so like, if I was doing poorly on a Marauder and Cease was like, "Hey, you didn't do this, this, or this," and I realized, "Oh, hey, I didn't do that," I'd consider.
Well,
What
you'll
thought
remember that next
process-
time.
Well, what thought process did I do that made me forget about that? Because if I'm going to ranked, I'm comfortable enough with any class that I would, be willing to bring in ranked. That's why it's ranked. Um, so what happened in the moment? How did I feel, or what did I not consider that made me forget that? That made, what did you do wrong in that instance, and how can you fix it? Those are the biggest things. But even if you get criticism, I'd say stand your ground and keep queuing, because realistically, playing and practice is the only way to get better.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I wanted to add something to that because that's also true. You should definitely seek advice, and I feel like most toxic players, I mean, they're mostly of the top. Some of them are definitely of the toxic mindset when they're around other toxic players, which just heightens it. And some people, if you get them alone, they're not going to be as toxic. I mean, that's not true for all of them, but that's true for quite a few.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And if any of you guys want to, you rank players, you hardcore PvPers, want to start up something with regards to a group or anything, dude, hit me up. I will try to get everybody connected to doing that because A, I want to learn. I want to get better at the game. It might take me a bajillion years, but I do want to get better, and I think everybody does want to get better. Especially if you enjoy this game, you love this game. Let's try to do our part to helping other people, I guess, excel and meet their, maybe goals that they had in there. I know I've had multiple goals in this game, and checking them off one by one. So if there isn't any other questions, is there anything you guys would like to add?
Yes. So he was saying that he wanted to play ranked, but he didn't want to deal with people being toxic, or did he want a way to try to avoid it? Like, which was it?
I think it was fuck. There's something about people who are too scared of unranked or ranked to what would they do? What would you do to help them get better? Or something? I don't remember.
Well,
Okay, let me read it off.
Yeah,
Any
I mean,
advice
I can't even read it
Advice
off.
for
That's
people
silly.
who have been scared off of ranked from asshole.
scared.
it's basically having to deal with toxicity in the match.
Okay, so if you care enough about what somebody says in a ranked game, that means that you at least want to try to not let other people down. So at the very least, you could do is try to learn the game in regs. So the way you would do that is be able to push a good DPS number. So in a war zone, as soon as the game starts, DPS numbers start ticking. So maybe if there's not a lot of fighting, the DPS overall is not going to be that high. But if you see somebody do like way more DPS than you, and you're just really confused, maybe ask them questions because they could probably teach you something, especially if they're the same class as you. But on top of that, if you're going into ranked, obviously you should probably, if you really want to get better and you want to try to avoid more toxic, because you're going to get toxicity no matter what. But if you at least tell them, like, hey, you know, you want somebody to tell you, like, how to get better, or, you know, have somebody, you know, after the game, you know, talk to you about how to get better. Like, sometimes you can say you're new, but again, like, of course, some people aren't going to be able to help you because not everybody in the ranked scene wants to help and or knows how to help you because they may not know the class. So for the most part, if you can find somebody to talk to, like they said, it's great. But also at the same time, Rex is a good place. I know some people are like, "Oh, I want to queue Rex. I want to play with a healer, or I want to play with a tank. I want to have guard." You know, all this other stuff. Like, you're not learning anything if you're playing with a healer 24/7. You don't understand how to use your DCDs, and even if you did play with a healer, you would then have to play against another team that also has a healer and learn how to space out your DCDs so not only your healer can keep you up, but you can also stay up. Because that's a big thing in solo ranked. If you ever get a healer and a tank game, and in solo ranked, a lot of people complain about this, like they hate heal and tank solo ranked games. That should not be true because in a DPS game like that, when your healer and your tank is reliable, it's all down to the DPS and how much damage you can do and how well you know your class to mitigate damage and shut down enemy players. It is all in the DPS's hands. So when you do bad DPS, your impact in that game is almost nothing.
Did you see the comment? He said he was a healer and got
Vote kicked.
yeah,
Twice when he said he was newer.
when he was newer.
All right, so as a healer, if you're gonna queue solo ranked, I hate that it works this way, but basically, let's say there's 4 DPS in queue and there's another 4 DPS in queue. That's 8 people in queue. But let's say you queue up as a healer and there's already been a healer. You know, let's say this healer is like rated 1700 or something. He's been in queue forever, and there's not been another healer to enter queue, so he never got a match. But let's say you enter queue, you're a new player, you're going against a very experienced, you know, healer, and obviously you're not going to win that. It's just not going to happen. He's going to be able to out heal everything you do, while at the same time just have an easier time just because he knows what he's doing and you don't. And he's going to realize that you don't, and he's going to take advantage of that. He's going to try to go against you as much as he can. And everybody else that gets on your team is just going to be unfortunate because, like, you know, there's not another healer to equal him, so it's kind of like a 50-50. It's like, do I get this good healer or do I get this bad healer? You know, that same thing goes for tank at the moment.
Yeah, and at that point, like, I guess it really falls on, like, if it's a healer match, you could technically win, but it really depends on how good your DPS are, like how the DPS is balanced.
Yeah.
Like if the DPS isn't balanced in your favor and you have the bad healer, you are always going to lose. Or if it's equal and you have like the newer healer, you're probably going to lose unless if you outcomp them.
It's typically just whoever is the better healer can win at the moment. Like previously, yes, you'd run into other healers that aren't as good. So like you're both gonna probably die just because 6.0, that's how it is. Healers aren't as strong as they used to be. You're both like gonna die at some point. You're just gonna accept that. Dying is, you know, part of the game. If you weren't dying, something's broken, or you're just that much better than everybody else, and that's rarely the case.
Yeah, I also
To keep in mind, as a healer in a tank, you're playing a support role. That means there can only be one other person. So like you're a healer, there's only one other healer in the queue, and then you're gonna have like 3 DPS, or say there's a tank in the queue. Those support roles are way more meaningful than the other roles because that's basically what the team needs, you know, to stay alive. If you can't match with what the other support role is doing, then obviously they're going to have advantage over your own team. So it's much harder to learn solo ranked, for example. Like going into that and it's like, oh, I want to learn how to heal solo ranked. It's not going to be that easy. You need to be able to keep people alive in ranks to be able to do 10k, 20k HPS. Like you can actually achieve that in war zones now, like 8v8s. And once you can confidently at least pull over 10k and you understand how to stay alive yourself, you know how to use your DCs, you know how to keep other people alive and understand, like, hey, maybe should I pop recklessness? Why this guy has saber word? Probably not. Stuff like that. There's some weird things that you will notice healing other people. Like some people will be easy to heal because they know how to pop their DCs. Some people will be really hard to heal, and you're going to run out of resource trying to heal them because they just take so much damage and they're not popping anything. That's one thing you will definitely notice in Rex. There's a lot of people that don't pop anything, and they just take so much damage, and boom, you're out of force. And there's sometimes there are people that will pop things right, and they'll just take a lot of damage, but if you can actually manage to keep them alive, you have a presence in mid, and if they die, sometimes you lose all presence, and your team just falls. It's really weird.
I'm going to agree with what Steve said. I remember, and it's so funny because one of the guests here was actually one of the guys that told me he loves to duel. Touchy loves to duel. So if you want to
I
duel,
was promised duels.
go ahead and contact Touchy because he literally will make a new tune and go at level 10, challenging people that are max level and beating them. Even I remember I went there. I said, "Well, shit, I'm gonna get on my Juggernaut." So I went down there, right? And he beat me first round, and I'm like, "Wait, how did that happen? You're level 10." And
First round, she had her companion and she won. Let's.
wait a minute, I
remember
did
this.
beat you without my
When you
companion.
had when you had your companion the first round.
No, I beat you without my companion. Yes, I did, because we dueled again.
We
You-
dueled a total of 4 times. You won 2, one with your companion, one without.
No, we did not duel 4 times. We dueled 3.
Yes, we did, because we were 2 and 2.
3.
We were 2 and 2.
Oh, I don't know. You know what? Now I don't know. But anyways, that wasn't my point. My point was, I agree with you, Speef. What Touchy said to me, as well as a couple others, when we were actually dueling on my little, I guess, dueling platform on my Narshada, is I did not want to duel them because I literally got instead. And what they said was, if you want to get better, you need to duel with people that are better than you. You're not going to learn just beating other people that have less experience than you, right? Because there's nothing to learn. I did this with Cease. Cease dueled me, and I was on my healer. I'll never forget this one time where he went and he was really surprised that I was able to mitigate and I did not die. He was like, "Wait, how did you survive that? Like you should have been dead." And that's I guess one thing you want to do as a healer maybe is to go against some of these DPS, because right now the DPS output is pretty freaking high in comparison to healers. Healers are a little bit nerfed right now. So if you can try to keep yourself alive, even if it's only for 15 seconds, that's just keep working at it. That way you know what DCs you have in case because obviously healers for the most part are going to be focused either first or second. So there's that. Anyways, go ahead.
Before you go on, dueling is going to be mostly wasteful, but yes, there's a lot of things you can still learn from it. But you got to remember that dueling is very wasteful. You gotta pop all your DCs selfishly for that one person because it's a duel. There's no reason not to pop all your DCs. But the thing is like in an AP8, you don't want to pop everything just for one person because that will not only get you killed, but it'll probably get your team killed too. You don't want to be too selfish with your stuff. And on top of that, you need to try to understand like what's going on. Because if you go in somebody that's better than you, and they don't try to like explain things to you, then you're never gonna learn anything because you don't understand what's going on or why you lost. A lot of people that go into solo ranked and they're just super new, or go into PvP at all, they'll call, "Oh, this guy is a hacker, he's hacking in some way," or they'll say, there's something else they say all the time. I can't remember. It's
Red bot.
I don't know what it is, but it slipped my mind. But basically, instead of people actually learning, no, it's this one. Okay, so they'll blame their teammates rather than realizing that they did a mistake because they don't understand, exactly what happened. So they're like, "Oh, my teammates are just bad. That wasn't on me," but in reality, it was totally on them. And you'll see that a lot, especially in solo ranked, and they just don't know. and nobody tells them, they will most likely never know. That some people don't take the incentive of actually wanting to look up guides, watch videos, and all kinds of stuff to help you perform. Like reading your skill tree, that would be the number one thing I would say to all new players. Just read your skill tree, read your abilities, find out which ability. You basically should have every single ability on your bar, and if you're gonna do war zones, buy Warzone Eternals and Warzone med packs. There's no reason not to. Everybody uses them.
That's another thing. That's a good point you brought it up. Is have all your abilities on your bar. I don't know how many times I've been in a ranked match with a specifically it's typically DPS shadows or sins. They're like, well, I'm not a tank. I don't need guard or taunt on my bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that helps the team. He's like, but I'm not a tank. Or like, I'll go into like raids and whatnot. They won't have interrupts or stuns on their bars, and that's more understandable. But there's still things you can interrupt. Or
Not
stun.
having you interrupt on your bar and raids is a very bad idea.
The way taunts work in PvP is 30% DR for your teammate. So let's say there's a guy just absolutely welling on your healer, for example, and if you taunt him, he'll do 30% less damage to that healer. However, if he starts hitting you, he's going to do full damage. It doesn't increase damage. It doesn't make them switch targets. You know, like you taunt me, I might switch targets to you, but like most players won't switch targets, so that's a 30% DR for your teammate. And that's huge, especially if you do an AoE taunt. That's 30% DR for pretty much everybody all around you, which is super good, especially if you can land it. But another thing is like operative DPS. It's not just like not having taunts in your bars. Operative DPS. A lot of people don't put, what is it, infiltrate? I think it is, like the AoE stealth thing.
Yeah.
Some people don't want me to put that on their bars, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to use that." But
I have that.
it's actually so useful. Some classes need to get the opener, and with that AoE stealth, you can get that opener almost every single time. Like we had a 2v2 tournament not long ago. I believe it's on my YouTube. I don't know if it's on my VODs anymore, but it's on my YouTube. And that fight was determined only because they opened from stealth. Like right then and there, we lost because that opener is just so good. Like for example, Juggernaut is one of the classes that needs to get the opener. It needs that leap. It needs that CC immunity. It needs that DR from the leap. So having that on the bar, even if you don't need it because you're already stealth, it still helps the team.
Yeah. But I mean, back to the dueling thing, I think it does help. Like you said, it's not a cure-all for learning, but it'll certainly help. Okay, so this class does this attack, I can pop this CD to match this. It's more about learning how you can personally stay alive, because at the end of the day, if you're the healer and you die, you also let your team down.
Yeah, that's what I was referring more to is because Rix, you are a healer. I know it's helped me learn how to use my DCDs, what works, what I should do. I mean, I- that's like the number one thing is you need to keep yourself alive so you can keep everybody else alive.
And
So,
Cease, I want your opinion on this because, like you said, it's better if you pop your DCDs to, stay alive and help your team, right, instead of being selfish. And with that comes kiting and knowing when and how to kite and where to kite so you can still help your team as a healer specifically, right? So back when I was worst player on Bastion, a lot of the silver tier and low gold tier players preferred me over the top 3 healers because I would die, but I'd stay and heal the teams instead of kiting halfway across the map and holding a DPS on me while staying alive. But because I stayed and healed the team, even if I died. Like, what would you prefer? Is it better strat?
See, like that's just experience. Like I would say you didn't have experience there. So like some classes do desperately need the heals, but at the same time, there's other classes that would be completely fine if you go run to Africa. Like they don't need your heals. If you can separate the enemy team, that's so much better for them because then they don't have to deal with like them swapping onto them and like, almost nuking them. Like assassin does not need your heals immediately unless it's a group fight and people can just turn on them. So like let's say you have people going for you. If you were to jet out like twice and run away, which you can jet out twice now, which is absolutely silly, but let's say you did that and you had 3 people coming for you, and like one person stayed behind to fight, the Sin or whatever. That Sin can handle that one person. He does not need heals from you. He doesn't even need you to be there. You keeping the 3 other players away from him is so much more beneficial for him. Like, even if he gets low, he can just stealth out and he's fine still. However, like the rest of your team might be there helping you, so it'd be completely fine for you guys to have like a 2v3 while he's doing a 1v1 over there. Like some classes can handle it, like Marauder
Right.
sometimes too. Like anything that has like maybe healing or just strong DCDs can go without you for a little bit.
For reference, this was like a thinking frame of this was 3.0 Merc and 3.0 classes.
Yeah.
3.0 healing, if that helps you. Mercs were not in a particularly strong. I would say they were competitive, but nowhere near Sork.
Merc was definitely the one that needed help from his teammates rather than the other way around.
Right, and that's why I stayed with my team.
3.0 was scary.
Because if I had ever kited, they'd be like, "Oh, get back to the team. We can peel for you."
Yeah, at that point, yes. You don't have any healing DCDs. You can't. You can and you can't handle like too many people by yourself. You can handle maybe one person, but you're not going to be able to handle the moment somebody else steps in.
That also reminds me, cutting all the way back to the toxicity thing. I got into Corellia Square, and I had Mosh on my team. And I'm sure you've played against Mosh, so you know what he's like. He runs in and does whatever he wants. But the other 2 people on our team were bitching that I was in queue and like telling me to get out of queue and that I suck and whatnot. And he's like, instead of bitching, how about peeling for him? And then he just ran in and tanked their entire team while they were still sitting back arguing, and we won that match. Because instead of worrying about what I was doing, they actually played.
A lot of people just need to be told to just play. Like, you'd be surprised what you can do with people that don't know how to play the game or they're new. Like, I've run into 2 new players in solo ranked. Like, they've never played. Like, a sniper has never played solo ranked before, and this is his first time, and people were talking to him, but I didn't care. And like I had like Phobos or somebody on my team too.
Right.
Which, if you treated that guy like a human, he would play. Like if you were toxic to him, he would immediately throw the game. Like he would just straight up leave or something.
Phobos?
But if you treated him like a human, he would actually play. And that's all you needed sometimes. You just needed them to play rather than to just be dead weight. So that sniper died immediately, like so fast in round 1. And I was like, okay, well, I'll stay back with you. All you have to do is throw diversion on yourself and you stay in there, and I'll just peel for you for the entire game, and we'll just kill whoever gets on you. And we won because of that, because diversion is just so strong. The AoE knockback is like sniper. If you pop your DCDs and you get support, you can definitely survive against less burst. It's more so like you can survive against damage, but you have to mitigate it right. So when the enemy team is not doing like optimal burst, you can definitely survive. If they are doing optimal burst, then it's just, you're kind of screwed. There's definitely ways to help your team, and just communicating and treating them like humans is definitely the way to do it instead of being, toxic.
I would agree with your initial point that getting back to the healing, dueling might not be the answer, but it's certainly a way to start to, like we said, communicate with the community, look for people to help you. That's really the biggest way to improve in this game is the community.
If you're gonna duel, let's take it this way. If you're gonna duel at all as a healer, you should not lose. Like
that's
previously in 5.0, you would never lose. You could not lose to any class because they did not have enough DPS to stop you. Like they just couldn't. Like,
well,
get interrupted or you get stunned. You have an answer to that. As long as you're using all your abilities, you're using your CC, you're using your interrupt, you're using your CC breaker. As long as you're using everything and you're stopping them from DPSing you at all times, you're just going to survive. There's nothing they can do about it.
I'd say
you'll
Mara
slowly
and
kill them
Merc
with,
were the only ones that would be able to manage that because Mara has so many interrupts.
I mean, like Marauder, like Annihilation Marauder
they
would
have
probably
proc.
survive, and so would like Mercenary. Any off healing class would probably survive, which would be like a stall, but basically you should be able to outlast them, or at least until you get tired. You don't want to press any buttons. Like classes that couldn't off-heal itself, like even if it was like really deadly, like let's say Fury Marauder or like Carnage Marauder, like that might be deadly, but you can still kill it as long as you like phase walk and burst window, or you phase walk choke before you actually take damage, so their burst takes a huge hit. Like there's something you can do at all points to mitigate that, so you shouldn't really be losing 1v1s as a healer unless they can do a lot of healing themselves.
Right.
Well, I must suck as a healer because I die. I die a
I
lot.
mean, but are you dying to cease though?
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
all-
are you facing one of the like best people left in the game?
Yeah, it's a different story when you're playing against one of them.
Oh.
See,
Well-
and that's another thing I think about this community is a lot of what a lot of good players these days, considered good players back then, have quit the game. Like I know we still have like Cease and Etudes and some people like that still playing, but like Terra Tracer, Kuzi, players like that, they've all quit. And
The
I
game,
feel like that's really lowered what is a good player. Forces Storm, the guys who I was saying, taught me keybind. He's like, what is good when the average player in this game is honestly bad, because the average player doesn't necessarily know their class. And I'd say that's a start of getting
that
good.
is true. One thing I would say about that is like, the difference from then and now is that you can bully a good player. You don't even have to be good to bully a good player in the
That's
current state of the game. Like it's been progressively easier and easier and easier to bully a player that might be better than you. It's
Yeah, that's true.
really closing the gap of what a good player is and what a bad player is. Like it's got to be prime situations where you can show like, hey, I did this better than you, or whatever. Like somebody could just quite literally just say, hey, let's all go this person, and this person just can't really do much about it, and they die, and it might make them look bad, but that's not true. It's just they can't do anything without support of the team.
And
Which
that's what
is-
I don't like about MMOs specifically, but multiplayer game health in general. Because as we were saying about the catering, who do you cater to? The casuals or the hardcore players? And I saw a post on Twitter, and it was SWTOR family and a lot of people who follow the SWTOR family. They're like, the raiders and the PvPers don't matter. It's the casual players, the RPers, who spend money on the game that keep the game alive. And while that's true to a certain extent, because those hardcore players, the better players, they're going to grind and earn stuff. They don't need to spend money to get stuff. They might spend money, but they're less likely to, just because they can earn it themselves. Whereas the newer players, they either need to buy those items, or they need to, in some games, like in Destiny 2, for instance, people used to sell recoveries or carries, which I disagree with, but is still a thing they bought because they couldn't get it themselves. Should they make the game easier because a newer player can't get it, or should they keep that skill gap? I think it's important to keep the skill gap while increasing the average quality of life.
I personally think that there's a way to feed bones to both parties. I just don't think this game has done it. And if at this point they cater too hard to one side or the other, it's
It's
people
gonna
on the other
die.
side just gonna leave. Yeah, it's like, what do you even do at this point?
I think we've already reached that point. Like
Yeah.
letting DPS guard, still letting DPS taunts, actually affect, damage, stuff like that. There's so many things that people wouldn't even look at, like obfuscate. Like we never needed ruthless aggressor, but we got it. I guarantee you, before 5.0 came out, like majority of Marauders didn't even know what pacify or obfuscate was. Like, they probably didn't even have it on their bars, and like maybe like the above average people would have it on their bars, and they would know when to use it. And that's an accuracy debuff to actual white damage dealers. Obviously, it's no use on the Sork, but it's a nice little thing. It's a very niche ability. But instead, we get like gutted things from like we don't have retaliation or deadly throw.
Yeah.
Anymore. Like you got abilities from us, and then you give us other abilities, and then like sniper is the biggest one that I would say. Like cover pulse, you know, that used to just be a knockback. And I think the extended knockback was necessary with all the movement abilities in the game. So I can understand like why extended knockback was created for that, because I think it's okay. However, I do think it's a little bit too far, but I do like the ideal because it's definitely needed, because the radius of that knockback previously was just terrible. But it auto roots now. Like you don't have to spec into anything to get an auto root on that. The fact that it auto roots and it can be extended at the same time is just absurd.
Oh,
The
one
fact that
thing.
you used to have to, like in a 2.0 sniper, 1.0 sniper, if you were to knock back somebody, you then had to like shot them or flashbang them if you wanted them to
Right, you had
not
to
immediately
follow up.
come back to you. You don't have to do that anymore. You can just knock them. 5 seconds later they'll start coming back at you. Like shot them. 5 seconds later they'll start coming back at you. Flashbang them. They break that, you roll
Later.
it, then they have to stand in that roll route if you're playing engineering, and then they might come back. You might have something again to answer them with if you play it perfectly. It's absolutely silly. And like meanwhile, it has all that, but it doesn't have the answers. Like, what if there's 3 people on you? Well, there's 3 people on you. I guess you die because most of your stuff is only stopping one to 2 people.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about class changes, like you're getting at, is so on operative, they got rid of carbine burst.
That
This
really sucked.
this I preferred carbine burst because it was white damage. This is yellow damage. And while this is sure it's neat for like damage fluffing and lethality, or procking a volatile substance,
I mean, both the abilities kind of sucked, but
I still prefer carbine burst. And what the fuck is this? You get rid of my snipe and give me a fart? Give me back my snipe. I need to do my snipe opener.
I mean, like, yeah, I'd say the biggest complaint is just abilities that do multiple things all at the
Yeah.
same.
Or
Remember that?
the absolute biggest complaint I have about operative changes is the countermeasures. Why does that give me the movement speed buff? I like that on 2 different. Why do I have to use my root bag to get a movement speed buff? Like, I understand it's supposed to be like more high
What
stakes.
happened to sneak? Come on.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
sneak.
exactly. Give me sneak back. Like, sure, don't make it usable in stealth, whatever. We don't. I also disagree with like the stealth level changes, but I understand, kind of why they did that. And that's why they got rid of sneak. But sneak had so much other counterplay. If I remember correctly, it also gave operatives
stealth.
like, well, out of stealth, it gave operatives increased
Movement speed for concealment.
movement, and wasn't it like, I want to say 6 seconds of DR or something, or maybe it was Sin that got the DR.
I think it was only movement speed for concealment. I think it might have been something else for lethality.
It was movement. So you first zoom it. I'd say on the topic of that, one thing I've seen you write down in the past is that I always agree with. What is in respect to Arsenal Mercs. I never think that you should be able, like with Blazing Bolts, be able to backpedal while pressing an ability, casting it. You're slowing them while you're doing damage to them, and then you can just backpedal. And it's ridiculous. No class should play where you could literally backpedal.
That's why I have a PT named hydraulic backpedal, because like for everybody makes a joke about backpedaling, but people also they like use force speed to backpedal. But when you use hydraulics to backpedal, you don't get any benefit of hydraulics at all, which is kind of funny. But you find yourself seeing that a lot because you'll see Arsenal Mercs do that. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna pop my movement ability," so they can't root me or anything, so I can just keep backpedaling as I shoot them in the face. When in reality, if they just figured out how to use starting left and right, they could then 180 degree turn. So basically, they could have their back facing me, but in reality, they're actually kind of looking at me, but they're starving, so it looks like they're not. And they could have their back turned to me and move at full speed while still hitting me. But regardless, whether a player does or doesn't know how to do that, if they do, obviously it's much harder to deal with them because there's nothing you can do about that slow. They not only get a specable tracer missile slow, they also get the base bullet slow. It's like, why can't you just have one or the other? Like, why do you gotta have
And then you have
the ability to take both?
Yeah,
To be fair, um backpedaling doesn't open your back to like say backstab. Um and while that's not a strong argument, at the very least it's keeping, some damage away. Like I'll occasionally, if I feel the situation calls for it, I'll backpedal. I'm not ashamed to say that. No, do I do it all the time? No, I'll typically turn and run, but I think there's certain instances, like if you're right next to LOS, I think it's fine to backpedal the 2 steps and then get behind LOS.
I mean, if you want to avoid backstabs and stuff more, unfortunately you can't do it as easy as you used to be able to, but you can jump. Jumping is actually a really good way to avoid it, because you can still turn your camera and your character's body while you're in air. It's much easier to do it that way. But at the same time,
You know what I mean.
there's like leg slice now, and both
Yeah.
sides. Like Sin has so many stunts, so many ways to get behind you at the moment.
So does
Like
Operative.
even the face-to-face maul is just absolutely silly. An operative, it's like, all right, stun, leg slice, stun, leg slice, root, leg slice. You just don't get out of the chain. You can actually perma-chain if you take the little utility to
Yeah.
get that one root.
Yeah. The backstab out of stealth route.
No, if you take the what's the other one? It's like a slow,
sever
but turn it into a root.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah, sever
recall.
tendon. It's the one you throw 10-meter range. I actually take that utility. Like
It's
everyone,
really annoying to deal with.
everyone's like, "Oh, take the Kolto DR." Well, now I can take both, but I've always preferred precision instruments over Kolto DR because I forget to put my probes up because I'm typically an aggressive player. I don't think to put my probes up. I'd rather, because it also reduces the energy cost of your hard stun and sever tendon, which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're pushing like over 2 hours already. So, I want to thank both of our guests. If there isn't any more questions from the chat, or I think they'll be around for just a little bit in case if you do have some questions, you can list them in chat too for either Cease, Score, Touchy, or Samuel. But what I wanted to get to was actually game talk because I know I'd love to get that in really quick. Uh,
Well, this is game talk, so
well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But one of the things I wanted to bring up really super quick, and this is for BioWare or for anybody who can talk to BioWare. I went yesterday, was it, or the day before? I think it was the day before. I went for the very first time was re-rolling my amplifiers. Now that I have my 6 set bonus, etc. Even bought the amplified champion set or whatever it's called. So now I have complete 7. I gotta tell you this. It is so expensive to buy a set piece. It's 1 million. Now you might think, well, what's 1 million? But not everybody's making that those credits, right, to keep up with it. But here's the thing. I spent on one tune, I spent 60 million getting the perfect rolls, right? Um that was on 9 pieces. Nobody has money for that. And what I feel bad about is that if you're with new players coming in, I mean, yes, they're grinding to get to the 306, right? Now they got to 306, and here is somebody else who has lots of money. They can sit there and re-roll the amps. Now, I don't know how beneficial those added stats are on each piece, but it's still an edge. I really wish they would lower the prices on rolling the amps. I mean, it starts off at 20. Dude, I was clicking so much. I noticed I was paying 500K. I was like, holy shit. So, hence why I spent 60 mil. But the thing is, it is so hard for anybody to really get those set bonuses as well as getting the perfect rerolls. And I kind of feel like that's going to actually it's going to hurt the game overall, because when you're starting to get into competitive, like whether you're doing rank, whether you're doing PvP, whether you're doing uh, you know, hard mode or nim raids, you kind of need to have that gear. So I understand you can use conquest to fund your set pieces, and yes, you can sell things. But re-rolling, I've got one, two, three. I've got like four tunes, three, four tunes. I think four-ish that I have that I'm working like the lowest amount I think has a four set bonus, but I started re-rolling the amps on everything from here, Starforge and Satil. But let me put it this way: we shouldn't be spending millions of dollars for one set piece. I know it's 1 million. I
Facts.
remember when we got our
Yeah, same here.
248s and our 258s. Um, it would cost command tokens, right? But it didn't cost 1 million. Do you know what I mean? Like the price was what? How much was it actually? Does anybody remember?
64K for extraction.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now, and not to mention that if you
It's
play different
97 now.
specs of a class, you need to have different, you know, maybe enhancements. Your build's going to be completely different, and so and there's a lot of people that want to switch. They'll play Carnage and they'll switch to Fury or whatever the case may be. So I really wish that they would change the amount of credits that it costs, uh,
I
not only for the set pieces but also for the re-rolls of the amps. That's all I gotta say, because I spent a lot of money and I was like, damn it, but I felt like I really need to, because I do high content rating. So yeah,
think
even if it
the
was costing tech frags instead of millions. Um, yes, that's exactly what happened. I did re-roll it for 5 times, but here's the thing: in order to, because you're wanting to get the best armory, do you know how many of them I disintegrated? I mean, you're looking for that perfect armory that is sitting at 409, what do you call it, endurance. So you're not getting, it's not like you're getting the perfect armory. Not to mention I did get it in some of the Shatak sets, but it cost me to extract that. It cost me to extract that one to then roll it into my set that I wanted to re-roll. So I mean, everything costs money, a lot of money, and it's going to divide the game between people who can afford it and people who can't afford it. So yeah, I then I started looking. I wouldn't go past 60,000. But anyways, that's what I want to say. Score. I know you wanted to talk about something really. I forgot what was the subject you wanted to bring up.
Well, Cease was starting to say something, so I'm gonna let him finish
Oh,
first.
I think the amplifiers, the prices for the amplifiers is fine. What I don't agree with is the way amplifiers work. So let's say you wanted to switch specs, like Nami was saying. Let's say I need a full set of weapon expertise for Carnage, but let's say I want to play Annihilation. I need another full set of periodic intensity. Why can't we just unlock these amplifiers? Let's say once you've gotten a full set of like periodic intensity or weapon expertise, give us an option to just swap without having to pay anything. That would be so nice, because I have to pay almost what 900 something K just to swap all my armrings and my hilts just to switch specs. Like that's absolutely silly. And God forbid if I delete one of these armrings on accident, I'm gonna hate it, because then I'm gonna have to get another one. Like, I feel like they should change that and allow us to unlock all of the amplifiers so we can just switch on the fly, which would be just super nice, and to make amplifiers, the initial investment for them, so much better. Like not like you're throwing a whole bunch of money away.
for one spec.
That's
And not
another
only
thing I don't like.
not only to mention, like I gave I gave the point of the scenario where, let's say you don't have very many of the best armories. Here's another thing that I did. I was rolling on my Sork, but I kept getting medtech, and I would get the gold medtech. So what I had to do was calibrate it, lock it, pull out that mod to give it to my Merc healer, pull out that mod from the Merkiller and put it back into the Sork and start re-rolling again, trying for me to get force harmonization. So not only because you're not going to give it up if you have another alt that you know needs that amplifier, you're going to pretty much say, whoa, I'm going to give this one over to my Merc. You're going to extract. So there's so much, in my opinion, it's just a lot of cost. That's what I found. But I wish they didn't have that big cost, to be honest. It's just, I mean, for me, it's okay because I do have a lot of credits. But for, I'm going to say the average individual, they don't have 60 mil to just drop on amplifiers without having to play the GTN or something like that. Okay, Score, did you want to add something?
Nope.
I just want to say one more thing. You said it would be okay if it costed tech frags. I want to say no, it would not be okay if it costed tech frags because we can't get enough tech frags in the first place. There's not enough ways to get tech frags. It's very casual centric. If you want to get tech frags, let's say you get on the character, you do your daily group finder stuff. You get a whole bunch of tech frags from that. Do your maybe your daily operation, you get a whole bunch of tech frags from that. You do your mech shot heroics, that's just 2 of them, that's great. And then you do your on run weekly, and like that's pretty much all the tech frags you get. It's mostly catering towards, you know, people that just have a lot of alts or just play, you know, one character and then log in each day. There's no way for you to just constantly, repeatedly farm tech frags while still being really efficient. Like you can do master mode hammer station over and over, but that's like the fastest and also probably one of the more boring ways. Like if they just gave old weeklies, like old planetary weeklies, or gave heroics, like more heroics, like actual tech frags. If we just had more ways to get tech frags, it would just make it so much better. I do not want to spend tech frags to roll amps or change amps or something. That would be absolutely silly because I still need multiple sets, and like God knows I'm probably going to need more because they're going to nerf more tacticals. They're going to nerf more set bonuses. Like they already nerfed right price almost into oblivion immediately, when the real issue is that PT tank can use the 100% critical pyro tactical, and it can also you know, take use of the right price set. But the main issue is that it can use that tactical, and right price was just kinda just a little busted, but it wasn't insane. Like it didn't need so much of a nerf. Like
What was that
fix
one?
the fact that classes can use other classes tactical. Like Marauder can use throwing arm. That is for Juggernaut. That is a obfuscate on saber throw. That means you can dual saber throw every 16 seconds and it will obfuscate people. Like why is that a thing? Fix that. The pyro tactical working on a PT tank should just not be a thing. Same with the AoE obfuscate with Marauder. Like what are they doing? Just remove the tacticals. Don't let them work until you fix it, and then implement them in the game when they're fixed. I don't see the issue there.
Like I said, that's why I don't think they needed to have such a profound launch with all the amps. I understand why they did it, but they should have started out small, made sure those worked, and then gradually added in more, and added more ways to get currency to get it. Like I get why they wanted to make it so you could get your icon build, but everyone's still gonna be running the same stuff anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Score. Score, wasn't there something you wanted to talk about today in gaming?
I think we've gone on long enough. It can wait for next week. To be honest, it's the Stadia launch, and while it seems to work for high-end connections, there is so many features missing. I kind of want to wait and see how it plays out.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
The
respectful.
Stadia launch, honestly, I would say, if I had to say anything else, it's kind of a joke because, as most of you know, it's a gaming stream service, and a lot of people don't have amazing internet, and they have data caps. So we need to figure out how well this thing performs on low-end internet speeds. I've only watched reviews of people with, access to the high ends.
Yeah.
Obviously, it works, right? But I don't know if I want to judge it just off the high end, because most people, like I said, aren't going to have that good connection all the time.
Did you see the stats for the population on Stadia on D2?
I did not, but I'll bet
13
you.
people in Gambit, 44 in Crucible, and like 4,000 in general total.
To be honest, I would have been surprised if it was more than 100. So that's already a step up than what I expected.
But 13 people in Gambit. 2 of them got AFK kicked out. 1 voluntarily left.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing. On Destiny 2, from what I've seen on Stadia, the input lag is so bad that I would not want to play it at all. Like, it's still better, I would say, on the Xbox One X than on
Really?
Stadia. Yeah.
At least from the stuff I've seen, it seems pretty smooth. I obviously haven't looked at a lot, but I watched Unknown Player and Cheese Forever. They both did videos on Stadia launch.
Yeah.
And it seemed pretty smooth. I mean,
yeah, but like I said, that's probably for people with better connections. With people that have average or below average connections, it's probably not going to be a smooth experience. Like I was reading the chart they have for the resolutions you'd get at certain speeds, right? Like just having 10 megabits per second is only 720p, and I don't even know if that guarantees frame rate. So I don't know.
I think the issue for that, at least, and this is my final point, is that, like you said, it's a streaming service, and that's what they brought up as an issue too. You're not actually playing the game; you're basically watching it. You do inputs, and then it's streaming what's happening on the server to your, to your system. You're not actually playing it directly.
You don't even own the games on there, so it's like, what's the point? If anyone's thinking about getting a Stadia, I would say just wait like a year. If it's still a thing in a year, at the very least, we know it works now. That's the only thing I can take away from it. It works now. See if it still works in a year. When the features are actually there and there's more games on it. Because here's the thing, they only have one exclusive as well. Like, all the other games on there are just old games that you've probably already played. Like, it's got all the Tomb Raiders, it's got D2, it's got Red Dead Redemption, and I think it's got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Just Dance 2020. And that's about it. Like, there's a few more games, like maybe 5 or 7 more games, but they're all old games too. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back to this maybe next week. Is that what you're saying, maybe?
We'll see if there's any updates, but to be honest, outside of this, I highly doubt it. Like, they don't even have achievements right now. That's how bare bones the features are. There are no achievements right now. Feels bad. That's like one thing I expect from any service.
Yeah, right. Let me do things.
Yeah, let me feel accomplished for doing things in this game I'm playing.
Cease, I like your idea.
Okay. So, I want to tell you where we are. Cease has a knack of getting us to places that are very difficult to get, and probably places that no one's ever seen. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but where we are is, if you've ever been in Dread Palace, you're looking at the entrance of Dread Palace. So you see the portals, you can see the one on the left there, and there's one on the right, if you can see the portal over here. So we are actually on the other side of this gate. So I don't think anybody has really ever come here, but it's a beautiful sight. It really is, and I love Orcon. Orcon looks so pretty. Like, there's so many interesting things that, like, for example, just seeing that, and just seeing, actually literally walking back and seeing the entrance to Dread Palace. I don't think I ever saw that, because I usually just get in and walk in. And as I mentioned before, I'm never going to forget this. 11 times I cleared that on Nightmare mode. So, and I've never really looked at this. This is a beautiful, look at this. This is crazy. I like it. I want that to be my doorway, my stronghold. Let's go. But I want to thank both of the guests for being here. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you for to Touchy as well for keeping Samuel company there. You guys didn't duel. Well, you did, I guess. I guess you punched each other to death. Except for Samuel had gear. I was hoping to see some dueling going on, just because, I look at these guys and all I think of
Yes,
is
I
dueling.
forgot to get on my operative.
Dueling. But yes, I want to thank everyone for being here and hanging out with us. Does any of you guys want to say anything?
Who wants to jump off the bridge first?
I already did.
Who wants to
shit.
jump off the bridge first?
was
Also,
ahead of the
what I
curve.
want to say is, if anybody Speef, is there anybody like Speef? Let's see, who else in here is a streamer? If you are planning on streaming, I'm more than happy to host you. Because I have a raid at basically in another hour and a half. I will tell you, I've only had 2.5 hours of sleep, so I'm gonna go probably make some more coffee to be honest, because I have to stay up to like 1 a.m. doing raids. So if anybody, oh yeah, we should host Touchy.
What? I'm not.
Turn on Fallen Order, boy.
There we go. They already said
I-
just fall on our order. Let's go.
Let's stream Dead
That's a
Vixen.
negative Ghost Rider. We're playing Destiny.
We're
Host
playing
Vixen.
Destiny.
Host Dead Vixen.
If you want to understand how painful the Crucible is.
So I don't mind hosting you, Touch, if you're going to be doing Fallen Order, but I probably will host somebody in SWTOR if you're not going to stream.
Oh, Alex is actually streaming right now.
Alex is?
Yeah.
Alex is actually my very first guild leader. I met Alex in a pub guild when I made my very first tune on Republic side, which was my Jedi Sentinel, because everybody should have a Sentinel. A Jedi, for sure. Hey, kitty kisses! And that was our guest last week. He's awesome. We should do a shout out for.
Well-
Can someone do a shout out really quick for Kitty?
See, we should all go to your stronghold and make Sam get on his opera so we can unduel before.
Okay, let's all go to my.
Hey, excuse me? I didn't agree to this.
Yeah, but you did agree to
You
it.
promised
that was
to
one
do
of
me
the-
You know what?
for me to come here.
Yep, I do agree.
Bye.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get
My
you
money's
guys.
on you winning anyways. So.
Wait, are you guys gonna actually put on
I
gear though
doubt
this
it.
time?
Huh?
Are you guys gonna actually be in gear?
Yeah. We're
Okay.
do- Well,
I'm
okay.
gonna
So
need-
my operative's level 70. So what's gonna happen is I'll use the bolsterizer and see if that changes anything. Probably.
I can swap. I have 70.
Yeah, let's do that.
I have like 4 operatives.
Okay, do you guys want to message me on NamiGal?
Yeah, I'll message you in a second.
We'll have to see the dueling. I'd love to see Cease duel. I'll get on my healer. Come on, fight me. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't fight me.
Touchy dueler. She asked for it.
Oh, duel. Mine,
she asked
mine,
for it.
mine,
Oh my
mine.
god. No, he's on an
Oh
operative.
no,
Operative
touchy.
will
No,
win.
no.
And I suck at operative. I'd probably stealth out and go like hide somewhere in the corner.
Stream snipe.
Oh shit! Wow, that's a low blow right there.
Well, in order to be on a 70, I'd have to be on a pub, so you'd have to be on a pub to invite me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I have gear.
Wait, we have to go pub side. Feels bad.
No. You can
No.
be on the imp side.
Yeah,
I'm
you have
an
to be imp
Narshada,
side.
so I can
Whatever.
invite you.
Wait, actually, you know what? That sounds. I'll go pub side.
You want to go pub side?
Yeah, I do, because I actually want to get on my scoundrel.
Ooh. Well,
BD. I got my BD pet.
Nice. Me too.
Oh my god.
Wait, hold out.
Alright, let's
Okay.
get on my sentinel. Toodles, kitty!
I'm missing a relic? What?
Oh no. Well, now you said pub, so I don't know what to say now. But go
Okay,
ahead
yeah.
and message NamiGal. It's a space in between, though.
NamiGal.
Yeah, a space in between.
Yeah, I know, I noticed.
Ooh! Here is Cease. on, Cease. Let's go.
My God, that was loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me just turn you down.
Sorry.
There you go. You're fine.
Okay. I don't even have no left side. Okay, forget it. My left side's on. $100 on. $100 on Cease. Let me put my gear away. I'll be right. Wait, where the heck? Oh, here it is, right here. It's like, where did it go?
Imagine having that many armor sets.
It's my Sentinel.
That's why I don't play this
I
game.
spent so much money, but I did make my billion, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and get you over here. Come on, Cease, get your gear on. All right, I'm inviting you guys. There you go.
Is he on a 70 or is he on a...
Oh yeah, is he on a 70? No, he's on a 75. Does he even have, do you even have a 70, Cease?
I would totally... I kind of want to do that. Buy a 70 boost for me and Cease and do it with fresh characters.
He says no. He says he doesn't have a 70.
Alright, well, let's go down to the arena. All dreams happen.
Oh, I made it first try. Yay.
Big proud.
Big proud. God, you haven't been over here dueling on this in a while, have you? Remember, we dueled here. I got on a PT and I beat him on my PT tank.
Actually, you were on a Vanguard and you beat my Shadow in a Guild Rishi stronghold.
Oh, was it?
Because-
No, it was here. I never went to a Rishi. I don't
Because
use
I was still in
Rishi.
230s and you were in full 248.
Okay, whatever. Do
You
you
know
have
what?
to burst my bubble? I mean, can you say you...
You know
you-
what? You know
He
what,
was
Touchy?
up for
I-
36 hours, too, everybody.
I wasn't that time.
Oh, okay, let's go to Rishi. Here, I'll invite you guys to Rishi. Let me go to Rishi. Hold
Oh,
on.
Let us duel first. You said-
No. You'll duel there so that way you can duel Cease, because then there's the levels sync, the bolster.
Okay, but are you?
I'm
wait,
gonna
Touchy.
invite you over. Just whisper me again. NamiGal. Wait, why did it?
Shit, dude, I'm lagging.
Can you whisper me again? Why did? I'm gonna get Cease in here. Invite to group. Dismiss. Touchy.
hold on.
Oh,
We're in
okay.
the middle of a duel.
I'm sorry. What?
We're in the middle of a duel.
Oh, you're in the middle of a duel. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my Rishi stronghold, and I gotta say, what you're looking at is the only thing that I did. I put up the Rishi, like pretty much like my Narshada, so people could duel right here in the PvP area. And also, if anybody is interested in, practicing, getting into pretty much a PvP match, like a 4v4 or something like that, please go ahead and Discord message me, and I'll try and see if I can find some PvPers, ranked PvPers that maybe want to collaborate with one another and hopefully teach some of us stuff. At least before season begins, and I'm in queue.
Hmm.
What is PvP?
Feeling a bit better now?
I keep dismissing my companion, but I think he keeps coming
Oh
out.
god, I saw that lag.
If I leave here, he comes back out? No? Oh, interesting. Oh, I did put this deco here. Isn't that a nice deco? I just felt like that statue should be here. The fountain. You made a ticket? Nice. I'll just wait for Touchy to be done.
Almost done.
Wait, is it the first 50 subs that get it first?
25 on partner and
10?
10 on regular.
Stewie, you were one of my first 10? Interesting. C's too? What?
I mean, Cease doesn't surprise me. I'm more surprised about Stewie, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, no, but Stewie. Okay, Stewie met
Stewie
me.
was a day one.
Stewie met me a long time, like before I met you. No, wrong. No.
Okay.
Before he met me, I see.
No, no,
My
not you.
internet, dude. Holy shit.
I've known you the longest. I've known Square the longest.
Give me a
Oh yeah,
second.
you were here for my affiliate. Oh, Sympathy wants to come. Okay, whisper me, Simp. How are you doing, by the
Give-
way? Why don't you stream so I can host you? Oh wait, I can't. Somebody just.
Host Alex.
Yes, I will get. What happened to you?
I said I had to I had to switch connections. Give me
Oh,
a second.
sure.
I'll get back in. Yeah.
I totally forgot. Alex is streaming. Yes, I'm going to host. I totally forgot. See, I have no memory. I'm surprised I
Goldfish.
didn't fall asleep.
Wait, so you're a bird because you eat sunflower seeds, and you also have the memory of a goldfish.
Dude! Oh, well, yeah, obviously. That's why I have an emote on goldfish. But, you know, when I was muted all that time, I was eating sunflower seeds, not gonna lie.
I figured.
Yeah.
And you've made me hungry. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm sending out the invite for you guys. Hey, Simp, send me a message. We're on, you're on your
I'm
side.
literally in your group.
What?
I said I'm literally.
See, that's
No,
fucked
no,
up.
I'm talking about Simp.
He said simp, not simp.
Okay.
Big brain.
What he said, bird, cause small brain. Wow, that's toxic. He just said I have a small brain. Wow.
I mean, you have the biggest brain. That's why it takes longer to process information, right?
You just said bird cause small brain. And you just called me a bird for eating sunflower seeds. Yeah, memory. No, I have memory issues even if I did sleep 12 hours or 24.
I would say Emerald's got a really good point in this case, though. You need your
Yeah.
sleep.
Wait, what? Hold on. What was that?
What was
What
what?
was that, Cease? I like it.
What?
Something interesting.
No, fuck my internet.
Wait a minute. I gotta quit the group. Simp, are you coming?
Hold on, let me just go bolster.
Let me go bolster.
Internet.
I don't have left side. Don't even.
Don't even. Don't even, she says, and then save her throat.
I don't even have left side on.
Okay, let's see if my internet likes me this time.
What do you mean you don't have left?
No,
Can
my
you
left
run
side's
again,
on.
Nami?
I'm getting out, scum and side.
Why did you attack me?
I don't know. I wanted to take both you guys on at the same time and win, but it didn't happen. Because I don't have left
good
hand
luck with
side.
That is ambitious dreams.
Wait a minute,
Yeah, I
wait,
don't think I'm ever gonna
wait.
dream of doing that.
Give me a moment before you guys start. No, don't start. I just said don't start, please.
We're not starting. He's just doing the animation call.
Okay.
Can
I'm
you-
gonna come
can
over
you
here
guys-
and do the camera thing.
Yeah, can you guys invite me, please?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Assuming Touchy still
See,
wants to
see.
duel me.
This is the best animation in the game. Change one.
The best animation in the game, I think, like, prior to all the changes, I really like the flechette round
Yeah.
loading.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. And, like, I was
Oh,
I was so triggered when they made that a
Yeah,
passive. I
Can-
really
can-
was.
Can I just say, Scoundrel to me is the most aesthetically pleasing
Yeah, no,
Just for the
especially
simple reason, like, you have 4 shotgun attacks, and you can do them back to back. Here, see,
I'm
stand in
really
front of me.
like.
Wait, hold on a
Face
minute.
away.
I want to do the thingamajig. Where did Simp go? Simp, where'd you go? Alright,
Wait.
there we go. Let me see. I think I can get rid of that. There we go. Okay, now I can see you guys.
It's great.
So we're zooming in.
Why?
Where
Why are
did
you
you
doing
go?
36 to me? That's not very nice.
Listen, I just want Flechette Round back. I want Acid Blade back. I want
I
them.
want snipe.
Really, see?
I want rocket punch on Merc.
But that,
Flamethrower
yeah, so
on
just basic.
I
Yeah,
want flamethrower,
basically.
please.
Yeah. Flamethrower was so much better in my opinion.
Deadly throw and retaliation. Take those two.
Okay. Fight, fight. Let's talk. Fight.
No, it's me and
Wait.
did you pick up the bolster, Sam?
Should all come here and stack up real quick.
No.
Yes. You gotta just see the AoE, it's amazing. I love it.
I don't want to get global by sea. No, thank you.
I can't kill you. You have 280k.
You say as you proceed to do 36k, 28k, 30k, 30k.
Where are you, Touch?
It's just pop evasion. I don't damage you anymore.
Accurate.
Did you go get the... Wait, where are you, Sam?
I'm literally okay.
Oh, now I see you. Okay. Alright. Are we gonna duel here? Because...
What the hell? I just got launched.
Where?
Cause you jumped right as I did that.
Wait, is he fighting both you guys? Oh, you guys are fighting each other. Oh my god, this match will be going forever.
No med packs, by the way.
I don't use a med pack.
Didn't you have a legacy bay here, Nami?
I do not, sorry.
Put it down.
The only thing I put on was that thing in this. Is there onslaught? I'm kind of thinking, is there onslaught stuff for PvP and PvE? I am on Starforge right now. Yeah, there is onslaught is the story, so that is PvE. There is a new raid and Flashpoint as well.
Yo, I barely survived. Holy shit.
No stream sniping.
Oh, what?
See, so you don't want to get on your scoundrel?
Don't have one.
Yeah, but you have an operative, right?
Two.
No, I just didn't know if you want to play on your
No
operative.
legacy.
Huh?
There's no legacy. No. Switch.
No, I know. I was gonna say you could just go to your stronghold and then
And making him do all the work.
come
Nice
back.
work.
Well, he'd have to.
So I'm
do
stuck
the-
on this decoration. Nice job.
Great game, Bungo.
Should remove this thing so I'm not stuck anywhere.
Well, that's why you quick travel to your stronghold. Unlucky. Oh my god! Oh,
Alright, good game, dude.
Where's my flags?
where's your flags? Wow, toxic!
Excuse me?
Oh, then Cease is like, yeah, well, I'll finish you off.
What? Saying that you're gonna die.
Okay, so are we? Cease, are you going on Amara then?
Okay, Sam, if I kill you this time, you have to let me flag you.
Hey, thank you. Didn't you just sub last night or the other day? What is
Gifted
that?
subs.
Huh?
Gifted subs, that's what he did.
No, it was.
He gifted a bunch of subs yesterday, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. No. Oh,
Damn it.
that was close.
What the fuck? Wow.
Toxic. Actually, that's what you have flags, right? Okay, are you guys gonna duel against
Wow.
Cease or no? Cease, are you gonna duel on your Mara? Because I'm gonna go.
You know what, Touchy? You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna go on my Vanguard. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, crotch glass.
Wow. Wait, you're calling that a crutch class, but you're not calling it operative a crutch class?
Hey,
Excuse me?
let's stack up for Cease, because Cease is homeboy. No, I think to play at the highest level, Vanguard is a lot easier than operative.
I would.
If you're talking about the very highest level.
This person.
I don't know. There's a lot of bad Vanguards, though. There's a lot of bad Vanguards. There's also a lot of bad operatives. So
Alright,
maybe.
Are you guys gonna duel or?
get
I'm
out
gonna
of
get
this
my
and
Vanguard.
droid for him.
I need to get off the droid?
You should get off of it and put a legacy bay down.
I don't have a legacy bay.
Yeah, you do. Everybody has legacy bays. Dude, the server's merged and you got like 16,000 of them.
Oh. Okay. Wait.
You literally just have to go to one of those stronghold people and get a legacy.
No, I have a bajillion of them. He's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just being lazy.
Ow! Yeah, like
Esther, come here and stand.
no. I'm putting a legacy bay to shut you up.
And then come stand here.
Hold on 1 second.
Should be
I
able to
almost
do
feel
a
like this
search
is-
box bay.
I'm swapping classes.
What are you swapping to?
You'll see.
Wow.
You're probably gonna swap the commando.
No, my commando's on SS.
Feels bad. Wait, you only have one?
I deleted all the other ones before Dark vs. Light.
Oh my god, I just realized one of Nami's keybinds was W, and then I remembered she remembers with a mouse.
It's very confusing.
Wait, does she not use W, A, S, and D?
No.
What?
She does her own thing.
Okay, that's so weird.
As long as it works, I guess.
You move. You lose all strafing, not starfing, whatever.
Starfing.
She can't move left to right.
Oh, I have strafe left and strafe right as my left and right, as my A and D.
Yeah,
Here,
you
here's the
should.
Legacy Bay.
I don't have turn left,
Here.
turn right.
Oh, wait, I have to turn
strafe
it
left,
around?
straight right.
Oh, no, I guess.
I love how it's facing the wrong way.
I know, I didn't look at that. I just was
You turn around with the right thing on the right mouse key. You don't use the turn.
Cease, can you use the crafting materials from Conquest?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
Give it all to
Otherwise, I
Cease.
could pick up a flagship plan, but I'm not going to use those.
Okay, here.
Yeah, you need those for what's it called?
Do you even want this seat?
Offense. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Wait, you
well,
need
it's
the
over
flag-
here.
You need the flagship plans? For...
No, it's
How's the
fine.
population
Those
on
things
this
are for
game?
unlocking.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean, 6.0 just dropped. October 22nd? So
should
it's
unlock
rather
my
new.
membership.
People are still
got-
getting geared up and whatnot. But
I got
so
two life wardens.
okay, does somebody want? Did you need to whisper me?
Come here and stack up.
Stack up.
Oh my god.
No, I just need touchy.
Oh, you need
Okay.
touching on me.
I need you. Come back over here.
Wait, where's Touchy?
I'm on my way.
He's
wanna
swapping
message me?
characters.
Okay.
Gathering crafting stuff.
You should probably get bolster.
Oh. I don't have any gear on.
Wait,
I'm just...
so you said tech wizardry is the best for...
Yeah.
Because I have, amplified champion that has force protection.
Yeah, it's for tank. You can reroll that though.
Yeah.
Armor pen and tech whiz.
I have,
Operative.
plus 1% tech wizardry and it's in gold. Is that good?
Yeah, it's the best one you can get.
But it's on 270 greens.
Yeah, I mean it's still helpful. I wouldn't reroll until you get through a 6.
Yeah.
For that amplified champion piece though, you can reroll
Oh,
that.
excuse me.
It's
So I'm gonna keep that.
usually your 7th piece.
Just download it. It's, I mean,
only need
you
6
can
hours.
play free to
Please,
play
would you
to
say
level
getting amplified
60,
champion
no.
is better than getting something like the Victor set?
So right now, do I
Yeah,
only
because you
wanna,
can't get anything out of the Victor set.
Okay. Fair,
do
fair.
I only want to worry about the higher level stuff right now until I get to 306?
So at least try it. Get
Yeah,
just
you just
practice.
wanna rush
Like get
right.
on some classes.
Get your tactical,
Make a
might
few
be the biggest
classes.
DPS
Find out which
increase.
one you'd like to make.
My tactical, the life warden.
You want
And if you want to
You want-
continue
the
through the
Life Warden's
story,
nice,
there
but
you
you
go. I
also
think
want,
you get, if I'm not
Veiled
mistaken,
Strike or whatever.
you get Rise of the Hutt
I
Cartel
have
as
the,
well
uh,
as
word is the
Are you
only-
talking about
Shadow
the
of
old
Lebanon for
strike
free.
heal?
No, I'm talking about the auto crit on stab.
I mean, you don't have to pay for
Explodes your,
expansions like you do in
Bullet
World of
Strike, whatever.
Warcraft. So once you
There's
become a
also
sub,
one
you
for
have
Acid
access
Blade.
to the entire game.
Makes your acid blade do 100% more damage. It also increases uptime, I think, which is actually really good because you have armor pen during the acid blade.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't that your operative's name before, Cease?
On Still Shania.
Oh, so if you're preferred, I want to say I'm pretty certain that you have
wonder
the
if he did
access
classes.
to the other two, but if you have a 65, shouldn't you have already?
Is that the
You should
Yeah,
have
class
access
the
already, right?
disposer.
To the to Shadow of Revan and whatnot. Wasn't that 50 or something?
I can't read.
Ah, I see. Okay. Let me quit the group so he can come in here. Gotcha.
Should stack up with these guys. Doesn't look as cool, but it's definitely a nice animation.
Anyone got a mailbox?
Really?
NamiGal.
You guys are making me decorate? Are you serious?
I have 8 mail. It is killing my OCD.
Oh my god.
I have 34 mil and I'm not doing shit about it.
I just don't understand. Okay, here you go. I have 44 of these.
Put down
Buy
44
expensive-
mailboxes.
Yeah, how are you gonna buy an expensive stronghold but not decorated?
Dude, I don't
Where-
have time.
Where did all my inventory
Here it is right here.
materials go?
Probably in your materials storage thing.
It depends.
Wait, that's a thing?
For the most
How do I get
part,
rid of
my
that?
home
like
base, I will
You
say,
can't
is
Can't.
probably
Part
gonna.
of the game
I'm
now.
gonna say Starforge.
Take things out of it?
However,
Oh, you can.
that being said, I
That's not what you were
raid
asking, though.
on Satil Sean.
Yeah, how do I
and
get
those are
how do I
2
get
NA
the stuff
servers.
out of there?
I also
If you
have
ask, how do I get rid of
on
it?
Dark Malgus.
Yes.
As if you wanted to
I'm
just
on
chop
3
it in
different
half and
servers.
like
I'm
fuck the
on
system,
the
get it out of
main
here.
EU server as
I mean,
well
it's
as
nice in
both
ESO,
NAs.
but unnecessary in this game, in my opinion.
If you come on Starforge,
It's for the
I can
people
help
like
you
Nami
out.
that have 2
Do
or
you wanna
3
make a
cargo
char-
base full of like
2 or
Oh, I'm
3
sorry.
people
Yeah, because they're. Hold on.
that only craft.
I mean,
Okay, I muted them. So my main server, I would say, is Starforge. I have 2 guilds here, but they're very casual, very very casual. I want people just to play games, not worry about having to make a certain things. You know what I mean? If you want to make conquest, then make conquest, which it actually behooves you to do that. But what was I gonna say? So my main server is Starforge on NA, but I also raid on Satil Sean. So I always like to refer Satil Sean as my raiding group. That also means it doesn't mean that I don't do anything else other than raids. It's just that's the server I go to do the raids. I also have tunes on Darth Malgus. So that's one of the main EU servers. So I have like 8 tunes over there, I think. Yeah, I know. So if you want to make a tune on Starforge, I'm more than happy to help you out. I have tons of cartel items that I need to get rid of. I was hoping to get rid of it all by 6.0. I started doing it, but then I started getting busy with once it dropped and whatnot like that. The 6.0 dropped, that is. So I've been busy doing the gearing and etc. Okay, are these guys going to duel or what? Yay!
That one. No, the other one.
This one?
Nope,
Okay.
other one. Other one's better.
Fight me.
Okay, are you guys gonna...
Alright, let's go. I will freaking fight you right now.
Okay, can you guys go ahead and go? Where did Cease go?
Inside.
Oh, he went inside.
Yeah, I just told you you'd have to go to that side. Yeah. But
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I muted you because someone couldn't hear me over you guys. So I just muted. Hold on.
Come here, Touchy. Let's
It's
duel.
inappropriate.
You're a meme.
It's still a
That's cool.
faction based.
Minder, you have 283k. I have 200k.
Cease, what team
Wait.
are you on?
No, go get the
Human
bolster,
entity.
Touchy.
I'm sorry, what?
Human entity.
Okay.
Yeet.
Actually, you know what? Let's just do it in here.
Well, wait for me to get over there.
You.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, I'm hungry.
I just had another sandwich.
Go.
I would say if I had a I would say Imperial side more.
Go eat that, Nami.
I thought we were waiting for Nami.
Yeah, wait for me.
No. What?
What?
You're one of those who take reflex. What's wrong with you, Touchy?
I only took it because you're running AP.
Well, once you're 75, you can take it without giving up anything good.
Yeah.
That's why they should nerf it. Quite literally kill yourself on it. It's not very fun.
Yo, that's stupid.
He's like, that's stupid. Boom, you're stuck. I said Imperial. I play more so Imperial side.
What's stupid?
You take reflect is stupid.
Not my problem. You didn't notice.
Yes, it is.
It's really not.
Cease, did you get an invite over here?
Yeah, I had the grips off. I remember.
Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't see you come in, so it's because you're at the Legacy. Yeah, because I had to invite. Two of them are on pub tunes. I'm on a neutral. This is a neutral stronghold. So and one of them's on Imperial. So I play both sides. So I'm more than happy to play.
Fine, Sam, just for you.
Help you. I can help you on either side. I have every class and spec in the game.
I have a minute on my cooldowns.
I have to wait.
I
What
have
is cooldowns? No,
8 minutes on my cooldown.
8 minutes? Dude, don't make me a sandwich. I'm hungry.
If that's a life warden thing, you can forget about it. I'm not. That's not. That's BS.
Okay, give me before you guys start. Wait for me to come back. I'm actually going to take out Dubu because it's been that long. So wait till I get back so that way people can see you guys dueling. I'll be right back.
You haven't hosted someone already?
Wow, I'm glad you haven't noticed.
Hey, look
Got
at this
it.
tactical. Yeah.
Why doesn't she just host someone? We've been in here for like what, 3 hours? What?
3 hours of yippity yapping.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
Yippity yap.
No. You don't want that one. That's probably
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. C's. It's a nice like.
I mean, realistically, bludgeon can hit for like
35k.
yeah.
So it's
that's-
a 50. It's a
still a decent
15k heal every like 6 seconds. So it's not too bad.
You guys want to see what the AoE burst I can do? It's gonna be
Wait.
silly.
Wait, are you talking about lethality?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Before they nerfed it, you probably would have global dust or something. Did you have that weakening blast thing?
About to find out. See if I can find all my abilities.
So Zach got me into his OG pub guild, and
That one?
all of them have member notes, and he put mine as eternally command. No one has noticed.
What? Eternally what?
Commando.
Wait, I remember that guild from back in the day. Wasn't that from JC or something?
Alright, come here.
And Imside was
Wait,
a
was it from JC? Wait, was it from JC or Evan? I don't remember.
JC. That's where.
Yeah,
Karen's
I
from.
remember it. Oh my god, I remember. I'm surprised that guild isn't gone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That guild has been around a long time, probably since launch.
Over here.
Touchy, get in here.
I should take your life footing off so I don't pop it. Actually. So let's come in here. Alright.
See, I keep forgetting operatives have the hot streak thing.
That's just corrosive dart and toxic blast. I didn't mean corrosive grenade here.
uh,
Hold on. No. Back here.
I wish Nami left it at a better angle. I can't see anything.
I swapped to Dad Vixen. See how she's doing, but she's just upset at Crucible like normal.
So me.
Come back here. This one is
Wait,
one
what?
above you. Just come over here.
I'm
Come
on
on.
top, so.
I'm pretty sure it double stacks on you, so curious. Yeah, it does.
What's
So
up?
basically the equivalent of double backstabbing you just now.
Jesus. That's quite an. That's like an opener, too.
I can't tap target to you. What the fuck? But yeah, just having that down allows me to do that. Even if you evasion, doesn't matter.
Insane. That's white damage, ain't it?
No, that's yellow.
So I could reflect it.
Okay, I'm back. So can
You
we go
had
ahead
the
and get
worst
these
angle for
duels
the
going?
AoE. I have another 3 minutes on my cooldown.
Oh my god.
No, you're not dueling me with that cooldown. That's ridiculous. Come on.
No tacticals.
Okay, then you don't get to open since I'm a stealth. How are you able to pull me? I'm all the way up here. This literally doesn't make sense.
Oh my god, now Stewie went up to 150 on Cease. Dude. Oh my god, this is gonna be
We
exciting to see.
doing no tactical duels?
I'm level 71, so that'd be preferable.
Yeah, but you're also an APPT.
Screw you. You're a freaking operative with like scoundrels.
Alien.
Like fucking yeah, dude. I don't even have off field. Screw you.
Yes, you do. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, I have one healing ability. Okay.
You take no damage when explosive fuel plus shielded. So
But I don't even have power. I don't even
you
have
should
power
buff
yield
yourself.
right now because I forgot to pick it up, so I don't have power yield.
Imagine not buffing yourself.
gotten it.
Dude, if Cease was taking Reflect, you'd die. Because he's got extended duration on it.
He is taking Reflect though.
I don't know what you're trying to
Lethality's like all freaking broken right now.
It was broken launch of 5.0 too.
I was gonna say. Now it's 200 on Cease with his eyes closed. Oh my. Cease is just too good at the game.
To be fair, he does outlevel Sam by 4 levels.
Oh, does he?
Did you take?
playing AP.
Yeah. Did you take your tactical off?
I'm not using it.
So no.
No, it's on, but it requires me to use Toxic Blast, and I haven't used Toxic Blast at all.
It's basically off, is what he's saying.
That's fair. Where's the flags? Where's the flags?
I love Reflect, dude. Reflect is interesting.
Interesting.
Did you kill yourself?
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't. He killed me with Cruz with a grenade, but in essentially, yes, I guess I did kill myself.
Wait, my turn.
Alright, here we go.
No, you're
Buff yourself,
one,
so.
for one, you're not using that freaking shitty tactical. Okay? And two, I have 1 minute and 40 seconds on a
Buff
adrenaline
yourself.
rush.
She's not taking no for an answer.
I guess you're fighting Cease without buffs. Cease, once I get 306, I totally want to optimally Conqueror's Con. This is definitely not what my environment looks like because I'm playing on Potato.
Use med packs here, by the way.
I don't mad pack during.
Mad Pack on him, sees. Big DM.
Oh my gosh!
Teleport killed him.
That's nice.
Oh my god, now Stewie's like 300 on Cease with his
Buff
eyes
yourself.
closed and using one hand.
I already started. Damn it.
That is too
This,
funny.
uh,
Hey, Devil, what's up?
Surgical Civ is only healing for like 8k.
There's the man that plays Sniper.
Wait, like Bevis? Or Belvis? It's homeboy.
Are you streaming today, Devil? Whoa, this is... Whoa!
Because AP balance.
Well, you beat him fine
fine.
the last 2 times.
I beat him once.
Oh, you beat him once. Oh. Okay, so... Yo. Welcome to the mid-B
Oh, I didn't use my reset. I always forget that I have it now. I'm so used to old op.
Oh, you're still at work? Oh, okay. Speed,
Yeah,
you
it's
should
all
go
good, so
stream.
use your
Alex,
stem boost,
are you
then
done
use your
streaming?
reset.
He's playing right now. He just came in to say popcorn.
Oh. Are you gonna be? I'm waiting for these guys to do their dueling.
What do you mean? They've been dueling for like the past, what, half an hour?
Well, we haven't. Yeah, but I thought Cease was gonna duel Touchy.
Oh.
I want Speef to come duel me.
Oh my gosh. All of a sudden in a dueling tournament.
It's just in operatives only
Did you
and
say
casual because he
sin?
doesn't know how. I said operatives only. This just in.
Oh, just in. Oh, I thought you said Anna sin.
Unless your name is Sam, then you can only play PT because which class?
Hey, hey, listen, I'm not one trick. Fuck you.
It's not my fault. You're a PT one trick.
I never. What? I remember that I beat you.
I don't care, Speef. I haven't played this game in how long? I think you can beat my cheeks for a little bit.
I beat you a few times operative versus operative touchy. I don't know what you're talking.
Beat me once.
Yeah, and that was I beat you pretty bad too.
Uh, Squirt, can you give out a shout out for Alex? Do you mind?
What do I want to do?
Touchy, are
You
you
know
gonna
what?
come duel Cease or?
I'm just waiting for his buffs to run out, so it's fair.
You know what, Touchy? I know what I'm gonna come duel you on. I'm gonna come duel you on a Marauder. Because I
Okay.
feel like it.
Oh yikes! Touchy cheeks. Hey, Stabs. Hello, hello.
I haven't played Marauder in quite some time. Or not Marauder, but
Juggernaut.
You're taking meme utilities?
no.
Wait, so
Wait, are you inside or pub side, Nami?
I'm on pub side, but I can go hop on
It's
it.
taking every DR for some reason.
I can go hop on my imp. Here.
You know what? I don't even care. Let me
I'm
just
not
get
using
mine.
Wait,
tactical, by the way.
which one you coming on?
I will. I'll come on my Sentinel.
You sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
She's already on her login screen.
Yeah, I was like, let me know. I'm already in loading screen.
Score, how about you come duel?
Well, I'm already off. I'm waiting for this to end so I can play Battlefield 3.
It's like end already.
We just started.
Go ahead and go. You can go ahead and go score if you want.
Oh, too late.
Okay. What are you on? Just whisper me.
Yeah.
NamiGal.
This is good.
I literally can't outdamage your heals.
Wait, you guys are dueling without? Oh my god. I hate you guys.
Imagine unironically playing lethality.
Imagine playing concealment over playing lethality. Thank you, Nami.
You're welcome. Let me come over here and get in my little camera so I'm not in anybody's way. And for some of you guys who don't know, this is the Rishi Stronghold, and this is the PvP area. And they also have a,
Wait, I actually set my combat proficiencies on this character. I'm surprised. Great.
What the hell? I just went flying.
oh my gosh, is this gonna be,
So how's your day going?
Fantastic.
Oh gosh. Cease is a nut.
And this is why he and I are friends.
Cease, are
It's
you
like, how's your
streaming
day
tonight?
going while I'm casually beating your ass?
God, the last time I was in this stronghold watching this is when I used to stream the Nothing Personal dueling tournament.
Oh god, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was their streamer.
Nothing personal, kid.
Nothing Personal. Oh gosh.
Hello, rude.
And I remember operatives used to just go on.
You're blue to me. I can't even hit you.
You're blue? He's blue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I am. You did hit me.
He's
Oh,
blue.
well.
I can't hit him.
He's turned on
Hit me
his
with-
cheats.
hit me with AoEs.
Yeah, he's blue. I can't hit him anymore. There we go. Wonderful game.
You know, you can get in the camera too.
Stop running by me, Sam.
Yeah, exactly! Wow, that's horrible.
Cheating.
Yeah, cheating, giving an upper edge.
I honestly just want it to end so I can dual touchy to be
Oh, I'm more than well aware that's what you're waiting for. Does not mean I'm going to oblige.
When traders.
Wait, who's calling who win trade?
Hey,
Hello?
Speef,
Speef
you
is
should
calling
get
you
a
guys
group
and
together and do like 4v4s and stuff, like kind of like kickball, and to
Chicken
teach
nuggets, don't they?
people.
One's actually really nice.
Which one?
Apparently,
The
Little
reset.
Boss.
Or not reset, the speed on the thing.
Apparently, Little Boss made a guild
It
called.
automatically gives you speed.
It gives you a little, but there's another one that you
I
do it
did-
during.
I'm
Nice,
not taking it.
perfect.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm totally down to join. I want to get better. Let's do 4v4s so I can get better at you know, playing my favorite 4v4s arenas.
This is literally never going to end.
It will if I decide to put a tactical on that actually does something.
I took my tactical off.
I don't know what I'm using. I think it's like energy regen or something. Yeah, energy regen on toxic blast.
Oh my god.
Apparently, Little Boss made a guild called Wind Traders the other day, which I found funny. I've never seen anyone make a guild called Wind Traders.
You know, this is
before.
going to turn into a
that's super
24-hour stream if I continue.
No, I will be out of here in the next hour if you're not done. I swear.
You and
I
me
swear
both.
to God, Nami.
Dude, I need to go get more sunflower seeds.
Don't you need to go eat dinner and like stop
Why don't you actually?
Well, it's
You don't feel sick.
It's 5:24, so I eat a little bit later.
Yeah, it's dinner time.
Yo, I have a raid at 6. You better finish this up. Oh shit! I just realized.
Wait, hold up. You're the one who wanted to like, watch it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but I mean, op versus scoundrel.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It's
So,
the same thing. Yes. Stealther
Yeah,
against a
yeah.
stealther.
I mean, they're mirrored.
Yeah, they're
classes,
mirrored
not-
classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a
Like,
PT or, a Mara against it, but op versus op is...
I'm dead here.
No, I don't think I'll hit it. 7-minute cursive assault.
I know, only slept 2.5 hours. La rip. I have a raid at 6, and then I have a raid at 11.
Wait, you only slept 2.5 hours?
Yeah. I ended up
Get outta here.
watching, I started watching the the acting DNI's testimony before Congress.
Yo, this is such a meme to watch.
I know. You should have saw us on the dueling tournament. So bad. Operatives took over. You remember? I don't know if you remember. Like they ran a few of them when I streamed for them. And so bad that they said no operatives next tournament.
I remember that.
No healing duel.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous, but I think they
The
still allowed.
rules
I
for
think,
2 were not balanced. We let them do a stealth opener with the AoE infiltrate or whatever. We shouldn't have.
didn't they also let you play a skank tank?
No. It was actually pretty balanced. The only flaw that we missed out was the AoE stealth.
But then they said you couldn't open in stealth.
You could. Well, that was stealth versus stealth.
Yeah.
To avoid stealth from just sitting in stealth forever.
Yeah.
But in like the 2v2, it was just you could do everything. The only problem is everything was just limited in a way to make it more fair.
Yeah.
So people aren't, abusing things.
Yeah,
I think that
actually,
was the balance,
Cease,
I would have to say. It
Cease
was-
actually came in on that with Neff. Wasn't Neff your partner?
Yes, it would have won, but Prum opened up with the AoE stealth and it just kind of screwed us. There's no recovery for that.
So wait, what were the teams?
I have no idea. Don't remember anywhere. It's on my YouTube though.
He's like, it's in my
Shameless
YouTube. Please follow me.
You mean sub?
Sub. Yeah, sub.
Ooh. Ooh.
Alright, I guess we'll take a real tactical since you're playing lethality. I do less damage to you just because you're lethality. If I can ever switch my tactical, come on.
Okay, you guys gonna be done soon, or?
Who do we have to pay to end this already?
I know, right?
Yeah, first I have to get rid of this guy.
He's like, I'll do both at the same time.
I'll let you finish him.
Oh yeah, Gore.
Fuck. Ugh. I guess lethality sucks.
Lethality sucks.
Playing
No, I said pointing
Operative
against
here,
lethality sucks.
It's operative, is the problem.
Wow. You know what? I think that Touchy wanted Cease to blow all his cooldowns.
I use some against, what's his face? But I don't really need them.
Yeah, he gets them.
Oh, what's his name? But I'm literally in
This
voice
is so
with
funny. He's
buddy.
like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't need that stuff. I can beat him without it.
I mean, that's just a state of.
You know, not bad. I gotta tell you that the gearing system is not bad whatsoever.
Wait, are you guys both playing lethality now?
Yeah, that's why he took so long switching.
Oh, I swapped before.
Nami, you're gonna be here for quite a while, I think.
No, I'm gonna be going to Sitil-Shan for my raid.
Well, you're not gonna see the end of this duel. I don't think, unless like he's literally leads him right now.
Stewie, how much? How much on this now? Oof.
About 500.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, he's completely. How'd you kill him?
Life Warden.
Oh my god, you guys. Oh, you use. I thought you guys weren't using the tacticals. You are now?
Well, 75. They weren't using it.
Raid buff.
Raid buff?
I reflected so much.
Did. That's disappointing, actually.
Oof.
Yo, I don't get how that's affecting me. I'm literally outside of the radius of the circle. That's actually stupid.
DC.
DC.
Fucking marauders.
Wait. Did you win or?
Am I
what?
literally fighting both of you? This is a lot of horseshit.
Horseshit.
I'm not doing that.
Sorry, cease.
Gentleman's agreement over here.
Wait, are you guys still dueling? or-
No, he won.
Oh, he did. Oh, I didn't see you die.
I killed him with lethal strike as he was going around the corner.
Okay, so I think. Dang, I have a raid in 30. Eek.
Gonna need some more sunflowers. And their seeds.
And their seeds.
Here you go, Nami. You can have this screenshot. You defeated Touchy with lethal strike.
Oh, I don't need it. I just didn't see him die. That's all. I just saw him go around the
Oh,
corner.
I said it's
but
for
I
you,
thought-
and now you can link it to Touchy. It's like, yeah, I killed you.
I think he. No.
Probably don't know what lethal strike is.
But what would anyone believe that that played lethality though?
Oh,
Now, shall we do a conch versus conch?
I have to change my apps.
Oh,
Just leave it like
Stabby
this.
wants to know if he can come do a 2v2 with you guys.
Who?
Stabby.
2v2. I'm about to leave. Honestly, I've been here for hours. And you're about to raid, so I think this is my time to go do something else.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. He wants to say it, but he's too kind.
Yeah, I'm too nice, but I wouldn't use that if it wasn't.
Stabby Stab can come if my duo can come.
Use your duo.
Who's your duo?
Hey, Groovy.
You guys don't know my duo?
I actually don't know.
Wait, you have friends?
Wow, that's toxic.
I never said it was my friend. I said he was.
It was his duo. Well, it would either be Spief or Karen, right?
That's what I'd be guessing.
That is
I'd be guessing Karen since Beef is busy.
Yeah, probably.
Did you want to come, Stab? I'd have to invite you
Why-
right away. I have.
Why are you doing so much damage? Oh wait, because you have probes up. Big brain. This is what operative dueling at the highest tier has become. By the way.
So this is on. This is.
No, this is on Starforge. I'm going to be going to Sutil though.
All right, Nam.
All
Thank you
right,
for the,
thank you so much for being here, Samuel.
Of course. You guys take it easy.
You too.
I'll talk to you boys
You know,
later
Sam?
when. Yeah. See ya.
Alright, let him in. How dare he leave?
Damn it, see.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and go. Swore to go play with
See, you're still gonna beat me. Even without probe or flashbang. But why is Life Warden so strong? Like, who thought that was a...
Okay.
Well, Life Warden used to not have a cooldown, so
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you
you could
literally,
just click
like...
off. Yeah, you used to be able to just click off the debuff and constantly heal at full.
Yep.
Huh.
That was broken. Okay, so I think when we got, is this still? Someone asked, is this still the same duel going on?
No.
No, it would make. You know what? That's a fair
What?
question because it
I was
went on
tabbed out.
with
See?
But no, human entity one.
Just did the double fold tile.
Yeah, I know. If you want to, here, let's go ahead. I'm gonna give.
I want to say, Cease, in my prime,
God.
I was probably a better strict operative duelist than you, but you were more well-rounded.
I don't duel, so I would hope so.
Well, that's literally all I did, duel Duke and Reaver, people like that.
All I do is face tank 8 people and 8 B8s.
As an APPT.
Pretty much anything.
Shit.
He can be on. You can ask him to be on anything, and he'll be.
I need you to face tank on an op healer with no tank or anyone else on your team.
I don't like
It's a
playing op.
literal 1v8.
Yep.
I would
Ready?
literally rather play in lethality. Sure.
I solo healed Titan 6 as lethality. SM, of course, but
Yeah, more guides are going to be coming out. Ceases normally brings out a video once a week, but I know he's starting to get all the guides for the different classes and specs. So if you want, go ahead and click on that YouTube channel, and if you could sub to him, that would be wonderful. It's equivalent to a follow here on Twitch. His one video, he just put it up. It's like over 200 and some odd views already. I was like, dang, it just went up like earlier today. It was actually yesterday or day before yesterday, I guess. Okay, I think I'm gonna actually take off to Satil Sean. Start getting ready. It's already 5:40, and they're gonna start. I don't know what we're doing today.
Well, this is awkward.
I'm pretty good, Dest. How are you? Clickers? I can't click. I have to use keybinds.
She clicks to move.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, I don't click to move.
Yeah, you do if you use a mouse.
Well, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I hold down left and right. That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's not really clicking, but
I know, it's not really clicking. I'm just holding down the buttons.
you click and hold.
I guess.
We're stretching in here.
Yeah, because I meant to attack. Although I do use it every now and then, especially if I'm on a healer or something. I might click on the screen to do some, you know what I mean? For a storm or something. How you got your chat on the screen? You can do that through
Damn.
Streamlabs. That.
I would blame that on gear, but I technically have more HP, but you have more stat.
Okay, guys.
Can't
Hey,
find my
Mitchie,
heal,
how
but
are you?
It's because I can't see anything because these things are terrible line of sight. So I put my camera here, I can no longer see anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I hate the camera bug. It's like, why do I have to be like camera face flat on the ground to actually see? Can't play this game not top down.
Oh, you're welcome.
I used to play the game completely top down, but now I'm
That's how
casual.
I play it. I can't play with my camera on the floor. That's how you have to do it if you want to actually see everything. But play top down, standing right here, you can't see a goddamn thing.
Oh my god, that bothers me.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I canceled like 3 times.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I'm gonna get over to Satil Sean. I've got my raid for my Saturday night, or wait, today's Sunday. Oh yeah, my Sunday raid, and then I will be back at like 11 p.m. For my second raid of the night. Are you gonna be streaming, Score?
Nope. Go play your raid.
Go play my raid.
Host Ed Vixen.